The 2026 edition of the Stanley Cup Final has been one of the wildest in history. Speaking of history in the Stanley Cup Final, when the series is tied at 2 games through the first 4, the winner of Game 5 goes on to lift the cup 74% of the time. Tonight in Raleigh, it's Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes. The winner takes the lead in the series, and the winner gets within 1 game of lifting the cup. The Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina, jam-packed tonight for Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. It has been a circus of a series to this point. What will Act number 5 give us tonight? And hello, one and all. I'm Matthew Owens, and welcome to Raleigh. Thanks for having us in for Game 5 of the Cup Final. It truly has been a series like you would never believe. The first 4 games has been electrifying. It's the first time in Stanley Cup Final history that through the first 4 games, each team has scored at least 3 goals in all of them. Let's recap, shall we? Game 1 started here last week. Carolina jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Vegas roared back to outscore them from that point on 5-2. A late goal by Tomas Hertl got Vegas over the hurdle of winning Game 1, a 5-4 final. 2 nights later, back in Raleigh, it was Vegas up 2-0. Carolina didn't look like they had any life or any chance until they scored 3 unanswered goals in the third period to take the lead. Vegas then scored late to force overtime, only for Carolina to win it in the overtime on a power play. Series was tied at 1. Saturday night, the series shifted to Vegas. All hell broke loose. The Golden Knights scored 4-0. Led 4-0. Mitch Marner scored a natural hat trick in the second period. It looked all over until it wasn't. Carolina scored 3 goals in 39 seconds, then scored late to force overtime. They made a goaltender change. It went to double overtime, and the winning goal was scored by Vegas on a shot by Shea Theodore from the blue line that deflected off the inboard that went in off of Carolina's new goaltender's skate. Then, Game 4 in Vegas. Carolina jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Vegas erased it. Through every game of this series, at least someone has had at least a 2-goal lead, only to lose the lead. It was 2-0 Carolina. It was 3-1 Carolina. Then Vegas tied it at 3. Jordan Staal scored a remarkable goal. A goal now in all 4 games of this series for the Carolina captain, age 37. Carolina won 5-3. The first game of the series to not end in a 1-goal deficit. So, we arrive back in Raleigh now. Game 5, series tied, 2-2. You couldn't get any crazier than what we have had so far. Could you? Perhaps. Maybe we could. Game 5, Golden Knights and Hurricanes coming up from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina, where it is going to be an incredible atmosphere here tonight. There's no doubt about that. John Tortorella's Golden Knights have come back to Raleigh. Rod Brindamore's Hurricanes back on their home turf. Now, that goaltending change that we mentioned, it was at the end of the second period in Game 3, when they were down 4-0, that Rod Brindamore yanked Freddie Anderson and put in the rookie Brandon Bussi, who was so terrific during the regular season. Bussi played extremely well in that third period, and then the 25 minutes of overtime we had in that period. Rod Brindamore made the decision to keep Bussi in to start Game 4. He played well enough to win. Bussi is the starter here tonight. That goaltending situation in Carolina has gotten even that much crazier, like this whole series has been so far today, because Freddie Anderson did come out before the team to skate around, and Carolina is imploring that he is eligible to play tonight if needed. But they have listed him not even as the backup or even the third stringer. They brought on an AHL goalie. They brought him in to be the third string netminder tonight. Yeah, it's crazy. Whole series has been, and it continues to be so. Game 5 set to start. Let's go to opening ceremonies.
The singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, signed tonight by Raleigh resident and deaf performer with PXP, Karen DeSalou. And performed this evening by Adam Lee Decker.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets are raging, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And this crowd at the Lenovo Center, they sold out this building for watch parties for the two games in the last two games of the series that were played in Vegas. It's jam-packed tonight, as you may imagine. Jam-packed to see 27-year-old rookie goaltender Brandon Bussey once again get the start in net for Carolina. From Sound Beach, New York, he was 31-6-2 in the regular season. In this series, through 105 minutes, he's got a 2.28 goals against average and a save percentage of .900. Carter Hart from Sherwood Park, Alberta, still in net for Vegas. In the postseason, a 14-6 record, goals against of .251, save percentage of .910. But in the series, that save percentage drops to .861. The goals against rises to .360. Ready to go here in Raleigh. We mentioned it earlier. In the history of the Stanley Cup Final, when the series is tied at 2, the Game 5 winner has gone on to win the Cup 74% of the time. Tonight may not be life or death, but it will feel like it for these two teams. Jordan Stahl, the captain, who has been on an unbelievable heater, meets up at dead center with Jack Eichel, and it's time to drop the puck in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. Face-off controlled by Vegas, put into the Carolina zone. Up the far wall, the puck rolls on edge. Jalen Chatfield for Carolina gets to it, looped it to the line where Nikolai Ehlers had it ricochet off his skate blade, comes to the far corner, taken away by Vegas's Shea Theodore. Theodore slices it up the middle, and Jack Eichel will take it to the near red line. Diagonal feed over the Carolina line. Mark Stone angled off into the wall by Carolina's Jackson Blake sent to the near corner. Nikolai Ehlers playing deep in his zone. Back behind the net for Jacob Slavin, the gold medalist from Milan. Feeds it over the line of the right wing, and the Hurricanes are into the offensive end, only for it to be taken away and cleared by William Karlsson. Puck rolling into the Carolina zone, but icing is waved off. Keandre Miller starts it up the far wall. Slavin out to center. Blake had it knocked away by Marner, and the Golden Knights have it. Then quickly it's taken back away by Carolina. Hall chipped it into the Vegas zone. Rasmus Anderson knifed it around to the far corner. Taken there by Noah Hannafin. Slid up the near wall and out by Vegas's Brett Howden. With space up the left wing side, William Karlsson over the line of the circle. A shot on the short side. Misses Bussey, and the puck goes out of play. So the first whistle comes a minute 16 seconds in. Golden Knights will be with an offensive zone face-off in the Carolina zone. And Jordan Stahl with an early shoulder shove from Jack Eichel. Face-off to the right of Bussey, controlled by Vegas from the far half wall. Jeremy Lauzon tried a shot that did not get through. Dylan Coghlan seals the zone at the line and hops it low to high. Colton Sissons drives it around the boards. Jordan Martinook loses his stick as he tried to clear. He got tied up by Jeremy Lauzon, the former Boston Bruin. Pavel Dorofeev lost it. Andrei Svechnikov forked it out to center, and he's over the line with the puck. Tried to play it across for Aho. Vegas gets a defensive stick in the passing lane. Puck is held in at the right point momentarily. Martinook, however, could not seal it, and it bounces out to center. Between the benches, puck in the air. Bounces away from Svechnikov in front of the penalty boxes. Dylan Coghlan gets to it. Golden Knights have it. Shea Theodore at his own blue line. Slides it to his right. Coghlan a feed up the near wing. Steered in by Keegan Colasar to the trapezoid. Moved by Bussey. Far wall pinching in Cole Smith. He gets run into by the rookie defenseman Alexander Nikishin. Puck to the left circle. Shane Gostisbehere knocked it free of Nick Dowd. Board battle ensues wide of the dot on the far circle. Two Golden Knights and two Hurricanes are there, and then you've got Gostisbehere, Jankowski, and Colasar all waiting for the puck to be moved. It still hasn't. Now it does come free. Smith puts it behind the net. Nick Dowd, a Stanley Cup champion with Washington, leaves it in the near corner. Colasar cycles it in. William Carrier takes it away. Backhanded up the far wall to Mark Jankowski, who helps it out. Eric Robinson from inside the red line. Frisbees into the Vegas zone. Shea Theodore is there to claim. No shots on goal for the first 3 minutes. Vegas, the other direction on a lead feed up near wing. Does not connect. All the way to Bussey it comes. He's forced to play it. Keandre Miller without a goal but 9 points in these playoffs, and he's one of the top Hurricanes in plus-minus rating. Gets it out to center where Sean Walker tried to scale it in. Puck takes a ricochet off of a stanchion and goes out of play. 3 minutes 11 seconds in without a shot on goal. So again, both teams, or I beg your pardon, every game has had a team with a multi-goal lead that they have been unable to hold on to throughout this series. Face-off neutral ice near dot. Stankoven wins it back. Walker shoots it around, bounces near corner to the right of Hart. Rasmus Anderson got to it for Vegas. He's able to pounce it up the far wall and out. Keandre Miller backpedaling gets to it. Shoots it up the middle for Stankoven, who tried to dump in. Mitch Marner reversed it back. Walker sprawled it through center. Bounces off a couple of sticks. Mitch Marner could not grab it over the line on the right wing, and it comes to Stankoven as Pavel Dorofeev took a big hit. Open ice Stankoven. The Hurricanes spread three wide. Blake on the right circle to Stankoven at the goal line. Throws it on net towards the side of the cage. Hall out of the right circle. His shot on the short side. Shielded by Hart. Puck loose to the far corner. Blake over-skated it. Theodore came away with it behind the play. Looked like Bussey got run into as the puck is cleared into the Carolina zone. Keandre Miller gets to it. Both teams shuffle bodies on and off the ice. Jacob Slavin shuffles the skates in his defensive zone, plays it along to his right where it could be twisted in. Open ice for Stahl as he gets to it deep to the bottom of the left circle. Tried to cycle for Ehlers. On around to Jarvis out of the far corner. Handoff in deep, misses Stahl's stick. Ivan Barbashev away with it for Vegas. Barbashev will flip it Cross corner to the right of Brandon Bussey. Jalen Chatfield flicked it to the trapezoid. Jacob Slavin got taken down as he moved the puck up the near wall. Ehlers a good diagonal feed to open up space on the right circle. Jarvis drops it off. Chatfield a drive, bodied off by Hart. Rebound, scrambled out to center by the Golden Knights. Jarvis in front of the Vegas bench has it clubbed off his stick. Back into the Carolina zone, Jalen Chatfield shovels it to the near corner for Shane Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere with a long outlet reaches Martinook in front of the Vegas bench. He'll dump in on his way to the bench. In deep Anderson got it knocked off his stick by Svechnikov. From the right circle, Martinook grinds it down low, picked off, and Vegas clears. Inside the red line, Martinook with it on his stick again will muscle it in. Hart knocks it down in the trapezoid. Leaves it there for Noah Hannafin. Hannafin quarterbacks it out to center. Mitch Marner goes skate to stick. Over the Carolina line on the right wing, he'll dump one in. Chipped off the near glass, and it ricochets out to center. Might make it for icing. It's to the right of Hart, who does not play it, but he was told that it was not icing. Theodore gets to it. 5.5 gone. First 2 shots on goal belong to Carolina. Vegas with an outlet up the near wing. Off a stick, it comes into the Carolina zone. Sean Walker banks it off the near boards and back out to neutral territory. Theodore loses possession. Braden McNabb's there to back him up. Pops it over the line. Eric Robinson with a heavy touch. Would have played Carolina offside, so he backs away. Golden Knights bring it back over, and they're offside on left wing with Hurdle. 5:55 in to period number 1. No score, and still no shots on net for Vegas. I mentioned a big hit given to Dorofeev. It was actually Howden, and it was delivered by Sean Walker. Howden, who, of course, scored quite a bit in this series and in the playoffs. 4 goals in the final, 14 in the playoffs. Neutral zone face-off, far dot to the side of the Carolina bench. Nick Dowd on the face-off with Mark Jankowski. Face-offs have been a big story in this series, including Jordan Stahl, who's been immaculate in the face-off dot for Carolina. Jankowski wins this one back to Gostisbehere, and Carolina through center, nudge through neutral territory, but icing is called as it goes to the left of Carter Hart. Not totally uncommon for Vegas to not get many shots on goal in the first period in this series. They have been outshot through first periods in the first 4 games, 43-14. Although the difference in goals scored in the first periods is not that great, Carolina has outscored Vegas in the first periods of this series 5-3. Face off to the left to Bussey. Vegas wins the ozone draw, but Anderson couldn't stop it at the line, has to backpedal to the red line and dump in. Gostisbehere, trouble picking up a bouncing puck, traded off to Nikishin, near corner, flipped to the line. Anderson held it in as he pawed it down. Mark Stone on the near barrier, taken away by Jordan Stahl. His outlet finds Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers slices it through center, and that goes out of play. Vegas players with arms in the air, they want a delay of game penalty signaled, and I think they might get it.
Minor penalty delay game.
And they do. So Ehlers with a clearance attempt that did not take a deflection goes over the short glass on the near side, and a delay of game penalty against Carolina will put Vegas on the power play for the first time. So to the power play go the Golden Knights. As we are just underway in Game 5, Vegas will get a power play before they get a shot on goal. JT is with us tonight, and behind the scenes, he has cooked all day long.
I've got so much more control. Matthew DMs.
And how are you, JT? Oh, okay. Very good. We'll fix that.
Surprisingly awake for what is 1:32 a.m.
Wow, and it's been a filled up day for you too.
Yeah, I've been producing USN stuff, which is weird to say, because normally it's me producing JBM stuff. Here we go. I've also realised that I've cropped the score bug on my screen behind the scenes a bit too much, because if you have a look at my camera on Discord, it's cropped the power play out. So let's just fix that. We do have South Korea and Czechia coming up in like 27 minutes.
No.
I can say.
No, not 27, 87.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. God. Time zones. Thank you, Matthew. It literally says here today, 3 a.m. But yeah, that game the score at the bottom will appear if anything happens.
Very good. Face off in the Carolina zone. Hurricanes control. Slavin pitchforks it out. Martinuk carries shorthanded through center up the far right wing. Waited for support to come, then he charges in deep. Mitch Marner knifes the puck away from him, and Marner's got it behind the net. And now Vegas will try to get set on their power play. Marner at his own blue line drops it off. Jack Eichel steamrolls through center, feeds over the line, hurdle, return for Eichel, cutting in, throws it across. Oh, Dorofeyev, a shot, they score! In and out of the goal extremely quickly. And Pavel Dorofeyev has scored to put Vegas ahead. Eichel with space, erupting into the offensive zone, played it across the crease. Pavel Dorofeyev on the back door has fired it in, and it hit in and out of the net extremely quickly, but it definitely went in. It might have even hit the camera in back of the goal, but nonetheless, it is in, and Vegas has struck first on the power play. Once again, it doesn't take many shots for Vegas to get their opening goal. In fact, this time they score on their first shot on goal, 11th of the postseason for Dorofeyev. Carolina controls the face-off to restart play, dumped in and brought back up by Vegas quickly, and up the left wing side, Barbashev spinning in, lost the puck. Carolina back to it, and out to center they come. Taylor Hall, right wing, a 2-on-1 with Miller. Right circle, Hall holding, plays it across. It was in the skates of Miller. It bounces between the circles, and the Golden Knights get to it. Needed a better pass from Hall. From the near red line, Carrier dumps it in. It bounces away from a Vegas stick at first, but Brett Howden's got it now. He gets tangled up with Hall. They both tumble down. Hurricanes are on it. In their defensive zone, Keandre Miller ahead for Stankoven, then back for Svechnikov, and then Miller again. Diagonal through center. It was behind Stankoven. Svechnikov couldn't handle it. Kolasar from the far red line. He loses it. At the logo, it came to Anderson. Chopped off his stick. Gostisbehere has iced the puck, as he didn't even take a look down ice and rifled the puck on an outlet from outside the red line, and it's a very poor icing committed by Shane Gostisbehere. Jack Eichel, who a lot of people have been talking about his lack of scoring in this Stanley Cup Final, has not scored a goal, but what a terrific assist on the goal to Dorofeyev. He takes the face-off here, but Carolina wins it. Gostisbehere again fastballs it out to center. Eichel from between the benches finesses it for Stone left wing. A drop for Marner. Marner left circle, a shot stopped by Bussey. Rebound was available, and Gostisbehere from the bottom of the far circle was able to get to it and hoist it out. Dylan Coughlin ran it down, sent it over the Carolina line, and to be picked off by Slavin. Brought back up by Aho. Given right circle, Jarvis to the front, and it goes off of Carter Hart to the far wall. Andrei Svechnikov tied up by Mitch Marner out of the corner. Aho spins it back to the left point. Jacob Slavin throws it down the dasher. Beyond Andrei Svechnikov. Eichel up the wall, not out. Aho kept it in, taken out of the far corner by Lausanne. He's able to lift it up and out with enough backspin, so it does not make it for icing. Shots on goal are 2-2. Where it counts, Vegas is up 1-0. Power play marker from Pavel Dorofeyev. From the far half wall, puck rolled out of the zone by Ivan Barbashev. The Golden Knights are out. Left wing Dorofeyev. His shot off the glove hand of Bussey. Rebound side of the goal. Came to the far corner. Bussey leaving a lot of early rebounds. Golden Knights are on it here. Hurdle, right circle. Low to high. Anderson a drive. Missed the net to the left of Bussey. Golden Knights are on the rebound. Right circle. Shot taken by Noah Hannafin. Missed the net. Out of the far corner, pinching in, Rasmus Anderson. Hits the brakes in the pie slice to the right of Bussey. Low to high play to the line. Hurdle's long wrister missed the net wide. Springy in wall rebound came to Jalen Chatfield. He couldn't clear on his first bid. Now Jalen, make that Jacob Slavin. Plays it back to Chatfield, and he'll butter knife it out to center. Nikolai Ehlers with a sauce feed over the line of the right wing finds Jackson Blake. Back to Ehlers, spins one through the blue paint and out looking for Stankoven. Miller touched it in below the goal line. Blake got angled off by Rasmus Anderson, who kicked it to the far corner. Golden Knights are on it. William Karlsson will lug it out. The VGK spread 3 wide, but cannot gain clean entry. Over the line now they have, and in the slot, Barbashev with a shot turned on right on Bussey, who steers it away. Puck loose, Stankoven behind the net, got it to the near corner. Taylor Hall was able to jump it out. Braden McNabb throws it right back in. All of a sudden, Vegas has tilted the ice their direction here earlier than they have been doing through much of the series. Miller with an outlet up the right-hand side. Puck is squirmished into the Vegas zone. Dylan Coughlin gets to it. Coughlin a long stretch feed up right wing. Nick Dowd shovels it in deep Carolina ice. Gostisbehere moves it to the far corner. Nikishin's clearance attempt was blocked. Came back below the goal line and Carolina gets to it again. Gostisbehere throws it out to center, picked off by Coughlin. Feeds it right back into the Hurricane zone. Nikishin is there to pick it off. Makes a wide turn from his right to his left and throws it towards the line. Jankowski tried to touch it back for Carrier, and he's offside, which yields a whistle with just over 9 minutes to go in the first period. Pavel Dorofeev on the power play strikes for Vegas. They're up 1-0 with the opening goal of game number 5. And if this game follows the tendency of the series, Vegas will score the next goal to go up 2-0, and then Carolina will come back. That is how the series has gone. So timeout on the ice, Vegas in front. And the Golden Knights have come out. And they have started to tilt the ice their direction much quicker than they had in the previous 4 games of this series. So underway, Game 5 on a big day here on the channel. Earlier today, the World Cup opener, Mexico defeating South Africa 2-0. And then later tonight here on the channel, while this game is still going on, the second game of the World Cup take place. Seth Eves will have the call for you in Guadalajara as Czechia takes on South Korea. And we'll have it. The other two games tomorrow for you as well. 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Canada, one of the other co-hosts, they play Bosnia and Herzegovina from Toronto. Then at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, the United States duels with Paraguay from Inglewood, California. Our guy JT has the lineup for you, bottom of your screen. He has definitely cooked here lately. Well, JT has cooked all day. Hurricane fans are hoping that their hockey team can start to cook up something scrumptious, because it has not been a great start for Carolina. Returning home here. And right off the face-off, puck is cleared and icing is called once again on the Hurricanes. There's been some sloppy icing calls, and Bussey's left some rebounds. Of course, this is a quick turnaround to play those 2 games in Vegas and then come quickly from Vegas back to Raleigh and play Game 5 on just 2 nights. Face-off to Bussey's left, near circle. Eichel on the face-off with Jankowski. As you see, Vegas now with an edge. They've got the last 5 shots on goal. They win the faceoff. Puck sent in deep to the near corner. Jack Eichel gets around Mark Jankowski. Twirls in the corner a couple of times to try to rid himself of Jankowski. Can't, so he throws one towards the front. It was deflected to Stone, who backhanded it to the side of the goal just wide, looking for a tip. Sean Walker up the near wall, and Carolina scrambles it out. Puck is free in neutral territory. Dumped back into the Carolina zone. Grabbed by Keandre Miller. Blue to blue for Robinson, who was able to steer it in. Who gets to it first, McNabb or Stahl? Answer to that is McNabb, who chipped it to the near corner. Howden was able to play it out to center. Chatfield reloads from the far red line. Cross corner dump into the right of Hart. And the Golden Knights are on it once again. Braden McNabb tries to rocket it up the far wall and out, but it's not. Ehlers to the front. They score! On a tip drill! Nikolai Ehlers to the front, and guess who? Jordan Stahl has done it again! Oh, Captain! My Captain! This game is tied! There truly are just no words anymore to describe how white-hot Jordan Stahl is. This 37-year-old has just scored his 6th goal of this Stanley Cup Final. And he scored in every game. Jordan bleeping Stahl puts it in. And game number 5 is tied. Face off to restart play, put back into the Vegas zone. It bounces out to center. Shane Gostisbehere wrapped it back out to neutral territory. Goes off a couple of sticks and ricochets to the line. Svechnikov couldn't handle. Now he does. Over the line, Svechnikov down the slot, a shot. That's blocked before it got to Carter Hart. It's available and cleared by the Vegas defense. Shane Gostisbehere picks up a rolling puck, slapped it out to center. Andrei Svechnikov in deep, below the goal line to the right of Carter Hart. First one to it is Shea Theodore. Scrapped out to center, Colton Sissons. Punched back into the Carolina zone. It's wide of Bussey to his left. And icing is called. That could be an extremely important goal for Carolina, because for the first time in this series, they had been outplayed in the first period to that point. But Nikolai Ehlers just slingshotted a puck towards the net, and Jordan Stahl on a tip directs it past Carter Hart. Face off to Hart's right. Tied at 1 as this back and forth series starts that way tonight. Golden Knights win the draw, get it out to center. Nikishin threw it back into the Vegas zone. Braden McNabb picked it off. He sliced it out to neutral territory. Carrier tied up Kolasar. Brought back up by Jankowski. To the line, right circle. Robinson backhands it in deep wide of the net. Carrier from the near corner. Throws it side of the cage. Robinson gets to it. Banks it in directly to the right point. Nikishin back to Robinson. Hammers one right on, and Hart turns it away. Gostisbehere to the front off the glove hand of Hart. Rebound bouncing around. Golden Knights will clear. Jab forward by Cole Smith, then reverse right back to Shea Theodore. Theodore at his own blue line. Spots Nick Dowd up the right wing side. He'll flare it in. Bussey will trap it behind the net. Leaves it there. Forward comes Logan Stankoven, left wing wall. Pushed it over red for Taylor Hall. Carried over blue. His shot fought off by Hart. Rebound to the far wall, and it skips through Walker at the line, who turns just inside the red line and deposits it back in to the Vegas zone. Hannafin diagonal feed through center. Eichel has room. Right wing over the line. Eichel in deep, throws it back to a trailer, and Bussey turns out the shot. High slot. Hannafin winds up a one-timer, and that's blocked. Stankowski was able to bull it out to center. Goes off the skate of Noah Hannafin, who turns back into the Golden Knights zone to retrieve. Here comes Vegas from our left to our right. White sweaters, pewter numbers, golden trim. Anderson Hart around to the far circle. It comes to the slot. Backhanded on net by Dorofeyev. Stopped by Bussey. Miller got to the rebound. Around the near window for Coughlin to hold it in. Coughlin high to low. It bounces to the trapezoid. Walker sends it to the line. Picked off and tossed back wide of the net by Jeremy Lauzon. Vegas holding the offensive zone here for quite some time. Dorofeyev right circle to the point, and a shot turned out again by Bussey with a rebound. rebound that Carolina clears to the line, not out. Carlson from the far corner takes a hit from behind from Sean Walker. Soccered to the far wall for Seth Jarvis. Chance for Carolina to clear, they do. Jarvis ahead to Ehlers. He'll pitchfork it in. It was running to the left of Hart, who caught it. And with Jarvis rushing in on him, he has to hold for a whistle. So Carolina turns all of that into an offensive zone draw. Nikolai Ehlers just throwing one towards the net. Jordan Stahl on a redirect. You think that 37-year-old wants to lift the Stanley Cup one more time? I mean, this is a man that only had 2 multi-goal games the entire season, and yet turned in one 2 nights ago in game number 4, and now has scored in 5 straight games. And he's got 6 goals in this final. 8th of the playoffs. He had 2 goals in the playoffs for the first 3 rounds, which for Carolina was 13 games. Now he's got 6 in his last 5. So Carolina in front through their captain. Although it has been Vegas who has been the better team through the first period. So tied at 1 at the Lenovo Center in Raleigh. Talk all the time about athletes extending their careers past the normal window that we used to know, and all the talk about Tom Brady and Tiger Woods and LeBron James and so many that's extended their careers deeper than what athletes used to do. Jordan Stahl here at age 37, just playing on the biggest stage of his sport and doing it prodigiously right now.
Matthew,
JT.
there is 2 Banana Ball games on 2 Flow Racing streams, 1 Cosmic Baseball game. Guess how many I have on my screen right now?
I'm going to guess 100% of them.
0.
Oh, really?
I am 100% focused on these graphics and scoreboard that I am sacrificing Banana Ball for, Matthew.
My goodness. I mean, can you believe
Look,
that?
I am gonna press the World Cup button. Look at this. Oh, it's beautiful.
Ozone draw for Carolina to the right of Carter Hart. Golden Knights control. Puck tossed up the far wall and out. Cole Smith guides it into the Carolina zone. Shane Gostisbehere banked it off the inboards behind Bussey for Jankowski. Sprawled out to center for Carrier, who couldn't get it deep. Puck bounces around possessionless in neutral territory. Now Carolina does get it deep. Jeremy Lauzon is the first to it for Vegas. Backhanded up the near wall and out, and all the way down it's icing as Aho just beat out Cole Smith in a skate race to the hash marks. As we play just over 15 minutes in period number 1. As you see, tied at 1. And an ozone draw for Carolina again. It'll be to the right of Hart. Near circle, Aho against Dowd. Vegas has created 5 scoring chances, we're being told. Carolina's created only 1. But yet here we sit at 1-1. Shots on goal are 7-4 Vegas. Face off to the right of Hart. Hurricanes control. Svechnikov teetering down to the ice as he got to the puck on the near wall. Has it taken away by Dylan Coughlin. Coughlin swatted it up the near wall. Slavin did well to hold it in. Now Vegas able to clear it. This is into the Carolina zone, and on his horse, Kolasar is going to beat out icing. Might get to this near corner. He does. Chatfield runs into him, however, to loosen up the puck, and Carolina gets it out. Vegas to start again at the near red line. Hurdle flips it into the Carolina zone to our right. Jacob Slavin gets to it. Plays it over the left wing line for Andrei Svechnikov. Rimmed around for Jordan Martinuk. Thrown behind the net for Aho. Beaten away from him. It comes to the right point. Chatfield high to low over the stick of Svechnikov. Far corner Aho. Low to high Chatfield winds up his one-timer. Blocked in traffic. And getting to it is Ivan Barbashev for Vegas. Uses the near window to help it out. And it's into the Carolina zone. Chatfield gets to it with Sissons pressuring. Chatfield leaves it below the goal line. Jacob Slavin with control with under 4 to go in the period. Slavin motors forward, feeds Chatfield right wing, finessed it on for Stahl off the right flank, where he could steer it in deep. Theodore to the far corner, Golden Knights to establish a breakout. Marner comes up the left wing and he's over the line. Chip for Eichel in the slot, had it knifed off his stick. Hurricanes get to it at Stahl. Diagonal feed through center was behind his target off a Vegas stick at ricochets. In front of the Carolina bench, Carolina in control. Keandre Miller from the near red line throws it in. Vegas to try to reverse it out, they do, in front of the Golden Knight bench. Pitched back into the Vegas zone to our left. Shea Theodore is on it. Golden Knights to establish another breakout. McNabb banked it forward, picked off at center by Hall, launched back in by Blake. Aerially it lands to the right of Carter Hart. Puck up the wall. Pavel Dorofeev rolls it out to Howden. Howden gets it up the middle. Carlson over the line. His shot stopped by Bussey. Rebound free to the near wall. Taylor Hall was able to stoke it out to center. Regained by Hannafin. Pushed over the line of the left wing. Dropped back off to Carlson, top of the left circle. Sent one towards the net, hunting for a deflection. None available. Behind the net, Rasmus Anderson crashing in. Got run into by Stankoven. Placed it up the far wall. Blake picked it off. Diagonally through center Hall. It's 2-on-3. Hall shoots from the line into the glove of Hart, who spits it out to keep play going. Noah Hannafin skates forward to his own blue line. A blue-to-blue feed could be directed in off the end wall by Dowd. Moved by Bussey off the near window, not out. Played towards the net from the far half wall. It didn't make it through the traffic. Trickled back out by Carolina. Left wing Eric Robinson could not gain clean entry. Colasar picked it off. Played it to Lausanne. Pitched forward up the far wing, Chatfield, reversed it into the possession of Nikishin. Nikishin trucks his way to the near red line and slams it in. Svechnikov puts it below the goal line for Robinson. He got shouldered off the puck, but it comes back to him. Tried to twist one of the front. Coughlin took that away, and Stone was able to blade it out to center. Hurricane puck in neutral territory. Miller from the near red line. He'll fork it in to the right of Carter Hart. First one to it is Shea Theodore, run into by a forechecking Andrei Svechnikov. Theodore behind the net. Svechnikov gives him a shoulder. Theodore up the far wall. Carolina unable to seal the zone. It's out to center. In the possession of Eichel. Taken off his stick by Martinick as we approach the final minute. Aho finessed it up the right wing side for Svechnikov. Bothered from behind by Marner, who takes the puck away. Vegas clears, and a lead feed up the right wing has Stone over the line. Dropped into the slot. Eichel drags a shot wide on the stick side of Bussey. Puck below the goal line and punched up the far wall. Held in. No, was not held in at the left point by Hannafin, who then brought it across offside. Well, Jordan Stahl has just become the 5th player all time to score a goal in each of the first 5 games of a Stanley Cup Final, the first since 1973, and the first done by a non-Montreal Canadien player since Cyclone Taylor did it in 1918. That was 108 years ago. Vegas wins the face-off in neutral territory and dumps the puck in as we strike the final minute. Before JT asks, I was not doing play-by-play on the 1918 Stanley Cup Final. Chatfield pops the puck out to center. Regathered in the Vegas zone by Rasmus Anderson, shoveled onto the near red line for Carlson. Carlson drives it in. Bussey moved it to the far corner. Chatfield got run into by a forechecker. Slavin gets the puck to the line and it's swatted out. Loose puck near red line. Mitch Marner stumbles to the puck and we get a whistle. Play is stopped with 33 seconds to go in period 1. Shots on goal are 8-5 Vegas. This is the best Vegas has played in the first period of a game in this series. Face off at dead center. Hall on the draw with make that Jankowski on the draw with Dowd. Dowd wins it to the penalty box doors. Flushed into the Carolina end. Sean Walker gets to it. Below the goal line, Mark Jankowski takes a hit from Cole Smith, who forces a takeaway. Puck to the left point, slung towards the net. Wide of Bussey to his left. Puck is free on the near half wall. Golden Knights try to keep it in. This time it's squirted out. Might make it for icing. It rolls softly to the goal line, and icing is called with just 9 seconds to go in the period, and Carolina fans, along with their head coach Rod Brindamore, frustrated by that call. as it did look like the puck checked up late. Will be an O-zone draw for Vegas. Remember, they did put a puck behind Bussey at the buzzer to end the first period on Tuesday night, but it did not count. It didn't cross the goal line before the clock expired. Face-off to Bussey's left, and Carolina wins it from the near corner. It's chipped over the glass and out of play. Again, Vegas are contesting for a delay of game call, but the linesman on the near side immediately made a signal that it did take a deflection. So, unless he's been overruled, which he may have been, Miller's going to the box. And we've got another delay of game penalty going against Carolina. The linesman from the near side came in, and he was making the signal that it took a deflection. Apparently, he's been overruled, and it's another Vegas power play on a delay of game penalty against Carolina. Second of the period. First was Ehlers. This one by Miller. Face off to the right of Bussey. Carolina controls and clears. Martinook shoots it towards Hart from the red line. Hart catches, and that ends the first period. So the carryover time on the power play for Vegas going to the second will be nearly 100%, a minute 54. End of the first period, and you'd have to say that the balance of the period was really controlled by Vegas. They do not have a lead to show for it. Pavel Dorofeyev scored on the power play on a beautiful feed from Jack Eichel at 6:52. And then about 5 minutes later at 11:56, Nikolai Ehlers threw a shot towards the net that was tipped in by Jordan Stahl. And it's 1-1 after one. Carolina will have a chance at the power play. Beg your pardon, Vegas will have a power play to start the second period. So, 1-1 after one in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final at the Lenovo Center in Raleigh. So, JT, here's a question for you. If you have...
Did I have the first intermission graphics a minute before the actual end of the period? Yes, I did.
If you...
And I was minus 90, by the way, in 1918.
Oh, well, yes, indeed. I was minus as well.
Now, that is there.
So... let's see here. If you're not watching Banana Ball, and you don't have a race on, and you don't have BeamNG on, what are you doing during intermission?
Watching a camera spin around once again. I might go get a drink. But I might save my drink for the 24 hours of Le Mans, because I'm not joking. The fridge that is to the right of me is full of American drinks. There's like 5 Gatorade in there and 4 Kool-Aids in there. I'm not joking. There's even, it's either a French or a Spanish Gatorade is in there as well.
Now, when do I need to be the one to point out the fact? Because as we know, JT is not missing another game of this Stanley Cup Final. We've determined.
Hold on, we've
determined that. So when do I need to be the one to say that that Le Mans is this weekend, and he'll probably be on for 25 hours of a 24-hour race? And then...
and the game is right after. I am aware.
Not right after, but it is Sunday night.
Well, I am aware. But I'll just have to miss a game and we go to a 7th game, Matthew. Oh, what a shame. Now hold on. That says I need to check some scheduling here. Hold on. need to see whether I'm going crazy or not. And this is where Matthew says, "You're so quiet." I'm not talking into the microphone.
Well, before the game, he wasn't
Okay, yes.
talking into the microphone, and I was straining. I felt like I was 87, straining to hear him.
God. Another error has been fixed on the graphics. My God. There we go. It said 7 p.m. instead of 8 p.m.
Oh, there you go.
I think everything's ironed out now.
Well, we got new stuff around here. And,
new stuff which is cool.
Well,
it's epic.
Yeah, JT has cooked.
Like, look, I can press that. I can press that.
He can just press so many things. He can just press so many things.
And regular viewers will know that I like pressing buttons.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh dear.
I also like pressing buttons, which is simple, and this Stream Deck plugin is so simple, and the whole website is simple. Like, for example, I had to change something just before we went on air, and even Matthew said was, "Wow, that was a quick fix." That's how easy the website is. Can we just ignore that the orbit hasn't been updated in a couple of years? Google haven't taken a satellite image of the Lenovo Center in the last couple of years, hence why it still says the PNC Arena.
Well, and yeah. Hey, you're just doing good that it's not still saying the RBC Center, which was the name before the PNC Arena. By the way, do you know who is in attendance for this game tonight, JT?
I do not.
Erling Haaland and the Norwegian World Cup team is here at the game tonight because, of course, their home base is at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yep, so Matthew is going to be surprised when he next goes into work and sees Erling Haaland there.
Wonder if the Germans are here too, because the Germans are based in Winston-Salem.
Yeah, but then, yeah, I'm also surprised that it doesn't have the Raleigh Entertainment and Sports Arena on the front of it, Matthew.
That's going way back. Check. So is RBC Center, but
that's going back to 1999, Matthew.
Yeah, that is going a long way back.
You were single digits.
Of course, before they moved to Raleigh, when the Hurricanes first came into the NHL in 1997, they played their home games at the Greensboro Coliseum.
I thought then you were going to say they played their games in Walnut Cove.
Okay. Woo, not quite.
Close, though.
Could you imagine?
There's another game on, and then there's a Hurricanes home game going on, and Matthew says, "Don't worry, I'm calling both games because I can see one on the TV and I can hear the other one, and I can hear the goal horn, so I know when they've scored." Even though you are literally, in UK terms, in a completely different city to Walnut Cove.
Well, indeed.
That's like saying you are probably the distance from Walnut Cove. You are probably the same distance from like London Southend Airport to the centre of London. Walnut Cove is London. You're in Birmingham. That's how far away you are in British terms. Probably not that. That was probably an over-exaggeration on my behalf, but it's fine. That's what happens on a USM broadcast. Right, Matthew. Now can I say that the World Cup game is kicking off in 53 minutes?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Seth
I know last time I said 27, but still.
Yeah. Seth Eves on the call for that in about an hour. Czechia and South Korea in Guadalajara.
Not Canada, Czechia. No, because Matthew pointed out that one of them said Mexico, Morocco, but didn't bother to point out the Canada, Czechia one.
Yeah, that's the only one that I saw. Yeah. Again, doubleheader for you tomorrow at 3 and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. At 3, it's Canada against Bosnia and Herzegovina in Toronto.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. JT's going to hit more buttons. I know what he's doing. He's hitting more buttons.
I have a graphic for that.
Yeah, there. Yes, that's right. How dare I forget. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, here on the channel, Canada in Toronto open up their World Cup account against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Canada co-hosting a Men's World Cup for the first time. They were the host of the Women's World Cup in 2015. Then, also tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, it's the United States opening up.
I don't have a graphic for that.
Their World Cup against Paraguay in Los Angeles.
You could go further into the schedule for some different sports, and I have graphics for them.
Okay. I do believe, I think, that JT has a graphic for on also tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It is Game 1 of the Calder Cup Final in the American Hockey League. Nothing like something being called the American Hockey League, but a team from Canada is in it. The Toronto Marlies at the Chicago Wolves. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the channel tomorrow for you in the opening game of the Calder Cup Final. Look at it. It's beautiful. I believe that's it. No, it's not. Saturday night, Game 5 of the NBA Finals, the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs as the finals shift to Texas after the Knicks' historic comeback last night. They are now one win away from their first NBA championship in over half a century. We'll have that for you Saturday night at 8:30. And yes, Sunday night, as he knows, Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. It'll be back in Vegas. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday night. Good gracious. Come on, I know you got one for Pocono. No?
No. I only had 4 slots on my Stream Deck.
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
But NASCAR is on as well.
Yes, NASCAR is on Sunday. The Great American Getaway 400 at Pocono. That's at 2:30 p.m.
Have you seen who the Grand Marshals are?
No, the Grand Marshal is for the North Wilkesboro race, but I don't know about Pocono. What you got?
I also see that. I have just seen your retweet.
Yes.
They've brought 2 people back from the dead.
Huh? Excuse me? They brought the Ouija board out.
Benjamin Franklin and Betsy Ross.
That is absolutely fantastic. It is America's 250th anniversary year, of course. And when they are in Pennsylvania.
And NASCAR Chasm has commented since Betsy Ross is a flag maker and sewed the first American flag. NASCAR Chasm commented, "Good. After last weekend, we need someone on hand to stitch up more caution flags."
Oh my gosh. I hope we can actually get that command on air this time. We don't normally do the command, but I really want it on air. JT will not be providing pictures for us because after Le Mans ends, he needs to get sleep for the upcoming hockey game.
Oh, I could just do like 30. I'm in a really bad spot Saturday and Sunday
I believe it.
because normally I don't have college on Monday, so I would have slept all day Monday. I have to be in college for 9 a.m. Monday morning
Oh.
for this week only. Well, for next week.
Can we write you a note to get out of it? I mean, they don't know who I am. I can just write a note as a big time.
I offered to do it, and well, no, they asked for a date. I said that date. We agreed that date, and well, I kind of forgot that it was Le Mans, and it's the only time that it can really do, and it can really work. So, yeah, I've got 24 hours of Le Mans. I'm gonna leave my TV pictures on for NASCAR, and what I can do is we can talk about this off air because we're like 3 minutes away. Is that I can give you audio and you can just mute and unmute me when you want
Of course
it.
you can.
And
Why
then
wouldn't you know how to do that?
I'm gonna wake up 9 a.m. No, I'm gonna wake up 8 a.m. Monday morning to get to college for 9 a.m.
There's gotta
And
be
then as
something
soon as
that
I
you...
get, and then as soon as I get back, I'm gonna go straight to sleep and then not wake up until like 11:30 a.m. Tuesday.
Like, there's gotta be something that you don't know how to do. Like, you know how to do all of this technical and behind-the-scenes stuff. There's gotta be something simple, or what most people view as simple, that you don't know how to
I
do.
can tell you what I don't know what to do.
Like, you don't know how to ride a bicycle.
I do not know how to operate the TriCaster in the broadcast studio at college.
No, that's not... That's not something simple. Like, there's gotta be something simple.
I know. It's not something simple. It is very hard. It's very difficult. Why is there a person... okay.
By the way, our new friend Medic is with us in the comments section, and I think Medic really enjoys hearing about JT's sleep schedule. Says, evening from a hot, humid, rainy Florida night, I see JT is still awake.
I cannot wait for a hot, humid, rainy Florida night when I go over there in February and then realise that it has cancelled whatever NASCAR race that I was going to watch, and then they've rescheduled it for the next day, but then I realise that I'm not at Daytona Speedway and I've got something else planned, so we can't do it, and it just all goes to waste.
Now, we've talked a lot about your Daytona trip. I have to say this. I can't believe it's taken me this long to mention this, and you may already have heard this, known this, whatever. You have to pack for at least like 3 different seasons, because
yes,
you go at night and it will be cold. It will legitimately be cold, and then the very next day it'll be 92. Yes, you had to pack for like 3 seasons.
How cold is cold?
I mean, it'll get down into the 50s at night, but because the wind comes in off the water, it'll be in the 50s, but it'll feel like you're in the 30s or 40s at times. The truck race that I went to in 2015 at night, I was very cold, and I don't get cold. I was very cold.
Okay, if it gets down to the 30s, then that's like the minuses. So, in the correct format in Celsius, the one that everyone uses. I'm gonna fade this graphic out so you can actually get back to the screen you want to get back to.
Yeah, we are close to getting the second period started, and it will start with Vegas on the power play. They've already scored on the power play once tonight through Pavel Dorofeyev. They have nearly a full power play left, 1:54 of carryover time. Remember, the second period has been the Vegas period all series long. They've outscored Carolina 9-1 in second periods in this final. Second period underway. Carolina controls the face-off, and Chatfield gets it in deep. Mitch Marner will walk it out to center. From the red line, a drop for Jack Eichel. And here's Eichel steamrolling over the middle and up over the line. Feeds it back to Stone, who sent one towards the net, and Jordan Martinook intercepted and was able to slingshot it down the ice from our left to our right to kill some more time. Marner brings it back up again. Up the middle, he's over red and over blue. Mitch Marner dangles his way to the perimeter. Sends it to the half wall. Hurdle, rink wide a feed behind Stone, who picks it up off the wall. To the line for Marner. Straight away, his wrister. Maybe took a deflection just wide of Bussey to his left. Slavin gets to the puck below the goal line and was able to sling it all the way down, halfway through the penalty time. Mitch Marner with an outlet through center, beyond Dorofeyev, taken over the line by Stone right wing. Hits the brakes as it knocked off his stick. Carolina unable to clear. Marner holds the zone. Marner feeds the slot. Stone to the left circle. Eichel shoots on the short side, shielded by Bussey. Rebound to the near corner, Jarvis. Up the wall, poked to the line by Aho, but not out. Hurdle feeds the left circle. Eichel shoots from a sharp angle. Not sure if it went off of Bussey or just whistled wide. Dorofeyev from the far corner, behind the net for Hurdle. Angle to the left circle for Eichel again. All the way across and through the stick of Dorofeyev, who wedges it to Hurdle. Far right circle to the goal line, and now to the pie slice to the left of Bussey. Sent back around to Eichel. Up top is Marner. High to low play Stone. Back pedals to the corner, into the slot. It ricochets into the blue paint. Bussey could not cover. Comes out to the left circle for Eichel. Penalty time just about up. Marner to the right circle. Dorofeyev a drive, and he missed the net high. Eichel at the line. His wheel around wrister stopped by Bussey. Penalty time is up. Rebound far corner and taken by Tomas Hurdle. Vegas still in the offensive zone. Hurdle all the way across. A swing and a miss by Stone. Jarvis off the near wall gets it out to center. Sebastian Aho gets it as far as he can into the Vegas zone, and Carolina fans get to their feet. Puck to the red line, snuffed out by Keandre Miller. Out of the box, he tries to throw it into the Carolina zone. He can't, but Jackson Blake does. Golden Knights start from their own zone. Quarterbacked out to center, William Karlsson, left wing. Approaching the Carolina line, he fumbles the puck, taken by Blake. Steered back over the Vegas line, Stankoven. Drop in the slot for a shot by Hall. Rubbed out by Hart, and the rebound comes to the right point. Chatfield able to dasher it around. Far corner Stankoven to the left circle for Hall. Knocked off his stick. Ivan Barbashev out to center for Vegas. Turns it over, but we get a whistle as it came to Jackson Blake, and they're calling that, I believe, a hand pass against Carolina. So face-off to restart play will be in neutral territory. In fact, right at dead center on the logo. Jankowski and Dowd on the face-off. Jankowski wins it clean to the far red line between the benches. Keandre Miller tried to turn it in. It gets deflected. We get another whistle. By the way, if you might be just joining us from the stream on our guy Jarek Rubel's channel, we knew that there was some really bad weather in the Chicago area. His power is out. Hopefully he will be able to rejoin at some point. Face off again at dead center, controlled by Carolina, but steered back into the Hurricane zone by the Golden Knights. And here's Cole Smith out of the far corner, twisting and turning his way around Shane Gostisbehere, but he lost the puck below the goal line. Carolina attempts to clear with Miller on the forecheck. Vegas holds it inside of the goal. Dowd, a shot on the short side, shielded by Bussey. Gets back to it below the goal line. Dowd, a low to high play, right point, a shot. Doesn't make it through the traffic. And Jankowski finds the rebound, and Carolina gets it out to center. Gostisbehere swats it into the Vegas zone. Coughlin around the far wall, turned over right to Stahl. Jordan Stahl left circle, tried to twist it into the middle for Ehlers, who missed it. And then the puck splits the Demon, Chatfield, and Slavin at the line, and it goes all the way to Bussey. Carolina to restart. Snap through center. Guided in by Ehlers. Shut down behind the net by Hart. Up the near wall, Ehlers held it in. From the near half wall, Ehlers towards the slot with a wrister that he missed wide to Hart's left. Golden Knights are on the loose puck. Mitch Marner Flubs it into the Carolina zone. Chatfield tried to keep it away from Eichel, couldn't do it. Puck behind the net. Golden Knights have it. From the left circle, McNabb. Rink wide. Theodore's shot blocked by Slavin, who was well placed out in front. Slavin one-hands it out to center. Marner was able to pitchfork it back in. Chatfield gets to it below the goal line around to the far corner. Jacob Slavin will elevator it out to center. Getting tossed to the ice was Ehlers as it came to him. McNabb with a big hit from behind. Chatfield lofted it into the Vegas zone. It will make it for icing. A lot of sloppy icing calls going against Carolina tonight, as they have just seemed to be just a step off from what we have seen Carolina to look like to start these games all series long. Yeah, apparently some real nasty tornado type stuff in Chicago. Tornadic activity.
Oh, I've seen this. They issued a tornado emergency, which is the highest.
Carolina won a D-zone face-off. Slavin tried to stake it into the Vegas zone. He couldn't, but Martinic could as he gets it in deep. Hart moves it around to the far corner. Rasmus Anderson for Vegas at his own blue line. He'll touch it blue to blue. Dorofeev was able to brush it in. Carolina was calling for icing. It went uncalled, and the Hurricanes are back out. Svechnikov drubs it in. Hart behind the net will stop it. Around the near wall to the line. Could not be held in by Walker. He does play it rink wide to the far wall. Martinic winds it in around. Svechnikov from the near half boards put it to the corner. Aho trying to turn with it. He does. Put it behind the net. Martinic got held up. They wanted a penalty there, Carolina. None given. Ivan Barbashev on the puck for Vegas. His threaded pass to the line. Carlson could not control it cleanly. And we've got a whistle to stop play, as Carlson was trying to carry into the Carolina zone. He was just offside with it. Just over 5 minutes gone in the second period. Shots on goal are 10-6 Vegas now. Where it counts, we're tied at 1. Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final, Lenovo Center in Raleigh. We have both teams in the center of the ice surrounding an official. And it looks like they're trying to suss out where the face-off should come. No penalties, as we're 5 skaters each side. Sissons and Stankoven on the face-off. Far dot neutral ice in front of the Carolina bench. Golden Knights control. Vegas attacking from our right to our left. Braden McNabb out to center. Steered in by the stick of Tomas Hertl. Bussy out to play it. Hesitated momentarily. Sissons tried to pressure him. Hurricanes get out with it. Chatfield from the near red line tried to punch it in. Deflects off a couple of sticks, and the Golden Knights have it again. McNabb slings it up the right wing. That's intercepted at center. Brought back up by Blake. He gains the red line and dumps in. Stopped by Hart to the left of his goal. Left on there for McNabb. Around the far boards, it ricochets to Theodore. Theodore looks for an outlet. It goes off the blade of Sisson's stick. He's carried to the boards by a Carolina forechecker. Comes to the line, and Tomas Hertl has it for Vegas. Diagonal feed. Sissons is over the line of the left wing, but we've got a whistle to stop play. It's because a Hurricane is down behind the play. It's Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall is down behind the play. It didn't look like initially that any penalty had been called. I think they were just blowing the whistle to make sure that Hall was okay. And we're going to get a media timeout here as we try to figure out, oh my goodness, Hall took a big hit from behind from Braden McNabb, and that was awfully close to a cross-checking penalty against McNabb. But for now, it looks like it has gone uncalled. So we get a stoppage in play. Tied at 1 as we near the midway point of regulation time in Game 5. An all-important Game 5 with the series lead on the line.
Matthew,
JT.
I see you have seen my image.
What image is that? Oh, yes.
The
yes. On the,
American fridge.
yes.
I wasn't joking, was I?
No, you were not. You were certainly not.
So bottom right is orange.
Yes.
Next to the orange is tropical punch. Top right is blue cherry and the glacier cherry. Then one of the Kool-Aid is blue raspberry, one's tropical punch, and I can't remember what the other one is. You're welcome for that information. Isn't it cool how you're in North Carolina, I'm in the UK, and we're both pushing buttons and they're doing stuff without any delay at all?
Incredible, truly.
Technology is wild. For viewers just joining us, Matthew is controlling the screens, I'm controlling the graphics. For example, I'm going to go graphic out, and Matthew's going to change the scene.
It really
Look
is.
at that.
It really is amazing. Face off to restart play. Neutral territory in front of the penalty boxes. Carolina controls. Puck is chipped off the near wall and into the Vegas zone. And icing is waved off as Dylan Coughlin forced to play it. He does carry it to the slot. Gostisbehere! A shot off a body. Ricochet to the far corner. Vegas gets it out. Gostisbehere tried to swing it back into the Vegas zone, which he has. Coughlin gets to that. Icing again waved off. Golden Knights attempt to clear. Carrier holds it in for the bottom of the right circle. Now the Golden Knights get a stick to it, and it's out to center. Nikishin couldn't play it clean. Robinson did. Rolls it into the Vegas end. Golden Knights quickly reverse it back out. Lozon flares it into the Carolina zone to our left. Shane Gostisbehere gets to it behind the net. 7 minutes gone and 13 left to fire in the second period. We're tied at 1. Gostisbehere breaks out to the left of his cage. Scraped on through center where it could be tipped into the Vegas zone. Rasmus Anderson back to it. Rink wide a feed to his left, Noah Hannafin. And flushed back into the Hurricane zone. Stahl gets to it with Eichel on the forecheck, nearly creating a takeaway. Off the far wall, and Ehlers with a bouncing puck. He nearly fumbled it. Got it out to center, and then on a return from Stahl. Ehlers takes a hit in the open ice as the puck comes to Hannafin. Hannafin forwarded on for Eichel. Off the left wing and over the line, he feeds Marner, who had it bounce away from him. Jarvis got it back for Carolina, and he has iced the puck. Another sloppy play by Carolina, icing the puck. Jarvis dumping it in, but he was a good 2 or 3 paces shy of the red line. And Carolina just has not seemed sharp tonight in a number of ways. First off, you can see they only have 6 shots on goal. They're being outshot, which is extremely rare. Face off to Bussey's right. They do win the face-off, Carolina. Chatfield lugs it out to center. From the red line, he backhands it in. Off on a change go the Hurricanes, so McNabb is there to pick up the puck unencumbered. Slingshots it out to center. Off a stick, it goes high into the air and into the Carolina zone to the left to Bussey, and we get another whistle. Carolina back at home, so wearing their black sweaters, white numbers, red trim. They're attacking in this second period from our left to our right. Face-off coming back in the Vegas zone. They called that icing. Stick certainly hit it, so it must have, the contact from the stick must have come just shy of the red line. A lot of icings tonight. Face-off to Carter Hart's right. Aho wins it away from Carlson. Far half wall Walker. In deep from Svechnikov. It bounces over his stick. Miller pinching in to keep the possession alive. Martinook out of the far corner. Handoff in deep for Svechnikov. Was broken up by Theodore. Theodore got it to the line. Carlson carries it out. Outlet up the right wing side. Dorofeev. Angled off into the boards by Keandre Miller. Puck is possessionless far edge of the trapezoid. Canes get to it. Miller will spatula it up and out. It bounces in neutral territory towards the Vegas line. Stone couldn't get it out, but it's offside against Carolina.
Stop. Come on, guys.
A lot of that tonight. Very choppy. No real rhythm.
I would like some rhythm, so the game keeps on going, so we don't stop, which means we don't delay, which means I can get to bed earlier. Thank you.
Neutral zone face-off. Near side, Stankoven wins it for Carolina from the red line. Pop flied in, caught by Hart on a fair catch outside of his goal crease. He will put it away, and we get another whistle.
5 seconds later.
Yeah. That counts as a shot on goal, the 7th of the game for Carolina.
This is definitely not the rhythm of the night.
Ozone draw for the Hurricanes. Meanwhile, William Karlsson, wow, he just didn't even go to the bench. William Karlsson just went to the Vegas dressing room. Wow, that is a huge development there. Of course, he missed so much of the regular season with a lower body injury, William Karlsson did. Face-off coming to the right of Hart. We'll try to keep you updated on William Karlsson's situation as he came off the bench and then went straight to the dressing room. Only played 14 games in the regular season. Came back early in the playoffs. Again to the right of Hart, this face-off. Controlled by Vegas. Behind the net, Jeremy Lauzon. Gets it out to center, and a collision between Cole Smith and Alexander Nikishin takes Smith out of the play. They play on. Puck came from below the goal line out in front. Nearly came back to Smith. Instead, it's taken by Hall. Hall sauced it up the middle. Stankoven twigged it in, and it's taken into the glove of Hart. And then after the whistle, a huge coming together. Stankoven went down. A penalty's going to follow here, and it all breaks out to the left of Carter Hart. Jackson Blake is down on the ice. He's got Keegan Colasar and Cole Smith surrounding him. Now Blake gets back up. He wants another piece at Colasar. It was after the whistle, after Hart had put it in his glove, Colasar twisted Stankoven down. Beg your pardon, Lauzon, 5, not 55. Lauzon twisted Stankoven down, and the arm of the linesman was up immediately. And Carolina's going to have a power play. They need to get Jackson Blake to the bench quickly, though, because he's going to do something retaliatory, and then he's going to get penalized for that. As of now, it's a Carolina power play upcoming. Lauzon called for roughing. There was just no need from that from Lauzon. A veteran player in his 8th year in the league. And the Hurricanes' first power play chance of the night comes just short of the midway point of the second period. Face-off will be to the right of Carter Hart. Far circle, Stahl and Dowd on the draw. Power play for Carolina, which sputtered and struggled its way through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, has picked up as they've reached the Stanley Cup Final. Stahl takes the face-off with Dowd. And Stahl wins it as he so often does, but it's misplayed on the half wall, and Vegas is able to clear all the way down to Bussey. They're 4 for 11 on the power play in this series, Carolina, including scoring at least one power play goal in their last 3. Nikolai Ehlers through center, flips it over the line to Svechnikov on the left wing, return for Ehlers far corner, rimmed around the boards to the line. Sebastian Aho sends it to Gostisbehere, return Aho, touch past Jarvis, left circle a wrap. Gostisbehere sets up an Aho one-timer, blocked in front, rebound free, top of the blue paint, it's available. They hack away at it right between the circles. It comes to the line, and Gostisbehere seals the zone. Near corner Ehlers, right point is Gostisbehere. He'll walk the line, center point to Jarvis, left circle, a drive, stopped by Hart without rebound. 1:13 left on the Carolina power play. That Aho one-timer blocked by McNabb in front of Hart, and that created hack and whack time. And then Jarvis with that one-timer ripped from the circle right where he beat Hart to score the overtime winner in Game 2. Second unit out for Rod Brindamore with Stahl still out there for face-off purposes. To the right of Hart, far circle, Stahl versus Eichel on the draw. Stahl wins this one, and they can get set up straight away. Stankoven, center point, feeds left circle. Blake a shot. It got deflected right on Hart as it rolled in on him. It goes to the side, and it comes out in front. Stahl, a tip over the top of the crossbar, maybe off the crossbar. And the puck off the far wall. Nikishin could not seal the zone. All the way back into the Carolina end. Hurricanes will tag up. Ehlers diagonal through center. Blake over the line, right wing to the circle. He goes. Hits the brakes and blows a tire. Falls down. Marner to the line, not out. Ehlers holds it in. Scans over the Vegas penalty killers, then tried to toss it to the line. Marner got a stick on it, and it bounces out to center again. 30 seconds left on the Carolina power play. Nikishin back in his own zone. Pressure from Marner. Diagonal left side, Hall at the red line. A drop for Stankoven. Tried to return it to the far wing. That hit off a Vegas stick. Golden Knights are able to clear, and ahead short-handed is Howden. Howden to the left circle, takes it to the corner. Stankoven gives him a big hit to erase the puck out of his possession through center Carolina. Taylor Hall over the line. Tries to feed it for Blake beyond his stick right circle. The return for Hall. Blake got run in too hard by McNabb. And another penalty perhaps is upcoming on Vegas. Play is stopped as Blake got toppled over hard. And another penalty to Vegas just as the first penalty expired.
Just 1 second after the Lausanne penalty ran up.
Well, they're going to a media timeout, so we're not going to get the announcement on ice level, but it is another Vegas penalty. Blake toppled over by McNabb on a cross-check, and just as Vegas killed off the first penalty, now Carolina will have another opportunity at it, and they'll have it coming out of a media timeout, so they'll be fresh.
Matthew,
JT.
why have a double kill when you can have a double power play?
Well, they're going to get it. Carolina. That was... And see, again, just Carolina has not played cleanly tonight, and that power play looked okay through about the first 45 seconds or so, but then it all broke apart. Just have not played that well, but they'll have another power play chance to grab the lead. Braden McNabb for cross-checking is the call that sends him to the bin. And the Hurricanes will have a man advantage once again.
Is that what the Golden Knights think of him as a player? They are just they just put him straight in the bin and forget about him. and then I'm reading the script here, and it says 2 minutes will pass and we realise we actually needed him, so we go and get him out of the bin.
So McNabb sent away. And Carolina again will go at it on the power play. Now out shooting Vegas 11-10. They've got the last 5 shots on goal. So again, with that TV timeout, that gives that top line on the power play a chance to breathe and come back out there. So it's Stahl to take the face-off with Jarvis, Aho, Svechnikov, and Gostisbehere out there with him. Stahl won the face-off. Gostisbehere, left point, scales to the circle. Jarvis gave it up. Svechnikov whiffed on it, and Vegas is able to clear. The struggles in the playoffs continue for Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov. Here is Nikolai Ehlers through center. A wedge for Gostisbehere from the far red line. He'll scale it in. Aho tries to get to it near corner. Placed for Ehlers. Now for Aho outside the right circle. To the line for Seth Jarvis. Return for Aho. Spins down the wall and hands it off for Ehlers. Directed to the line, Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere wedged on back. Ehlers again. Long wrister blocked. Aho got to the rebound. Steered it to the far half wall. Gostisbehere Jarvis. Touch pass Aho. Played rink wide off a stick. It's collected off the barrier by Ehlers. Creeps down the near wall to the goal line, Svechnikov. Flexed on back for Ehlers once again. Nikolai Ehlers near half wall to the dot. Feeds the goal line, Svechnikov. Low to high, Gostisbehere. Return for Svechnikov. Right circle, his shot, scores! Andrei Svechnikov answers the bell on the power play, and Carolina has their first lead of Game 5! Right on cue. All the talk about the struggles in this postseason from the big hitters, Svechnikov and Aho. On the power play, they strike. And you could certainly make the argument that Carolina has been pretty clearly the second best team on the ice tonight, but now they have the lead. Svechnikov delivers on the man advantage, his 5th of the postseason. Carolina in front. Play restarts, puck trickled into the Vegas zone. Stahl fishing for it out of the near corner with Hanifin. Carrier comes away with it. Hanifin took it back, tried to clear it. Anderson behind the net will help it up the far wall, and here comes Vegas, trailing for the first time tonight. Delved into the Carolina zone. It hits off a skate. Ricochets back out to center. Lead feed for Stone picked off. Martinook jabs it in. And Hart will move it out of the trapezoid for Hanifin. Noah Hanifin skates forward. His blue-to-blue feed missed his intended target all the way to Bussey. He'll paddle it out to center. Stankoven flexed it forward towards Martinook. First to it is McNabb. Put behind the net for Shea Theodore. Theodore muscles it out to center. Reversed by a hurricane stick to Jackson Blake now. Left wing over the line, Blake. Cuts to the high slot, shoots one. Stopped by Hart with the right pad. Rebound guided to the corner on the far side. Theodore gets to it and yanks it out. All the way to Bussey, forced to play it. Bussey behind the net. Tries to roll it up the near window and get it out on his own. He nearly did. It got to the line, held in by Howden. Into the slot. Sissons tried to wrap it towards the front. Could not get it past Slavin, and the Hurricanes establish a breakout. Stankoven, far red line, nubs it in. Picked off by Jeremy Lauzon. His rink-wide feed in his D-zone for Coughlin was behind him. He was able to locate it, popped out to center. Hall swings it right back in. Coughlin drifts it over the line of the left wing for Jeremy Lauzon. He'll shovel one in below the Carolina goal line. Svechnikov up the far wall and out. Hurricanes forward into the Vegas zone. Aho left wing lost the handle. Got it to Martinook. A reversal in deep. Aho behind the net. From the near corner tried to slap one towards the front. Off the stick of Hanifin, who helps it out. Puck rolling through the logo and back into the Carolina zone. Cole Smith one-hands it in. Nikishin provides a hit on Nick Dowd, far corner to the left of Bussey. Far half wall taken there by Kolasar. A board battle. Hurricane spills out on the ice. Believe it was Walker. Puck forced out to center. A reload for Vegas. At their own blue line, Noah Hanifin skates out to his left and bombs it into the Carolina zone. It dies on the far half wall. Anderson flies to it. From the far corner, he's rubbed out by Eric Robinson up the wall. Held in at the line by Kolasar. To the right circle, making a move. Marner into the slot, had it stripped off his stick. Aho takes it for Carolina. Forwarded on for the rookie defenseman Nikishin to take it over the line and shoved in. Hurricanes off on a change. Rasmus Anderson flops the puck to the line. It got beyond the kicking skate of Jordan Stahl. Between the benches, the Hurricanes are on it. Over the line with a move. Miller, a drop for Stahl. Left circle, his shot blocked. Stahl got back to it. Wheel around shot in the slot was whiffed on. Vegas able to clear. Final 5 minutes of the second period. Carolina working with a 2-1 lead. Hurricane fans to their feet and making a lot of noise. Stahl was able to twist the puck in. Theodore snapped it back out. Golden Knights the other way. Right wing over the line to the circle goes Eichel. Behind the net, tried to shovel one in front. Nikolai Ehlers read it. Ehlers out to center he comes. Drifts to his right on the red line and crosses blue. Gets to his forehand on the half wall, but lost the puck to Colton Sissons, who rode it forward. A break for Howden, he's in! A poke check away by Bussey! That gets Carolina fans even louder. Chatfield up the near wall, not out. Now it is. Theodore winds it right back in. Slavin cuts it off on the far half wall. Looped it out to center. It hit the skate of Jarvis and back into the Golden Knights zone it goes. Hannafin finds it. And Vegas is on the puck. Noah Hannafin sauces out to center. Lead feed for Dorofeev. Reverse back into the Vegas zone by Stankoven. Shut off by Hart in the trapezoid. Lifted up the near window. Stankoven cut it off on the forecheck. He got wiped out and the Golden Knights are back the other direction. Carolina fans wanted a penalty, none given. The other way, Dowd! A power move to the net, driving towards the front. He got taken down. The puck is somewhere to the left of Bussey, who's trying to cover it. There still is no whistle. It's behind the net now. Dowd banks it to the left point. McNabb's tossed to the line. Hurdle could not seal the zone. Hurricane fans about to pop the roof off this place. Anderson's over the line right wing. His shot stopped by Bussey. Rebound was left in front. Chatfield was able to guide it to the corner. He got tied up by Barbashev. All of this happening to the left of Bussey, far corner. Stankoven moves it out of a pile. Taylor Hall to the line, not out. Lausanne shoots a wrister high. Puck comes to the near corner. Carolina anxious to clear, they will. It ricochets to the stick of Stankoven, who's got a bit of space. Over the line, left wing to the slot. His shot just turned wide of Carter Hart. Cleared out to center by Vegas. Miller snaps it back to the Vegas blue line where it could be cross-cornered in. Jarvis trying to run it down near corner. Got there before McNabb. McNabb smushes him into the wall. 3-man, now 4-man board battle ensues near corner to the left of Hart. Dug out of a pile of traffic to Lausanne behind the net. One-handed far wall out to center Lausanne. Given up to Jarvis. Carolina restarts. Nikishin banked it ahead. Jankowski steered it on in. Vegas behind the net controls with Jeremy Lausanne. His outlet to his left finds Braden McNabb. McNabb through center finds Marner in space, erupting to the right circle. Hits the brakes and hands it off. Howden beside the goal. Throws it to Marner, who pitched it through the blue paint and out. Left point, a shot by Theodore, blocked by Walker, who's able to get it out to center. Stahl reaches the far red line, shoots in. Jordan Martinick trying to get to it. He does. On his horse, Martinick fed the right circle beyond Svechnikov. Carrier, side of the goal, they score! Sebastian Aho! Another big bullet! Carolina with a 2-goal lead! This place is buzzing! First it was Svechnikov to make it 2-1. Now it's Aho. The two big Carolina Bullets that have had to face all the questions about when they were going to show up in these playoffs. They have in a big moment here. Back-to-back goals from the top line, and Carolina's up a couple. Sebastian Aho's first goal of the Stanley Cup Final. And 5th of the playoffs. And this place is about to come apart at the seams. What a turnaround by a Hurricanes team that was getting outplayed. Now they've scored 3 straight. Face off at dead center. Carolina won it, but it rolled back into their own zone. Out of the corner, Hurricanes are able to clear from dead center. Jankowski up with it. Swats it in deep. Puck in back of the goal, taken by Jeremy Lausanne. Cycled up the near wall, cut off by Robinson. Bounces right circle. It just missed Carrier in the slot. High slot, a wrister turned just wide to the left of Carter Hart. Gostisbehere and it bounce over his stick in the near corner, and Vegas will look to clear. Smith ahead. Stuck away by Stankoven. Cross-cornered into the right of Hart. Can Vegas weather the storm here? Final 90 seconds of the second period. Near red line, Blake with the puck. Pops it into the Vegas zone. It's loose far corner to the right of Hart. Rasmus Anderson to his defensive mate Noah Hannafin, who misplayed it. Up the wall, Jackson Blake on the forecheck, swords it right back in. Hall out of the far corner up high. Long wrister stopped through traffic in front. It came right to the stick of Smith. He lobs it out to center. Hall from the red line punched it back in. It bounces on Hart, scooped with his glove. He has to put it in his pocket for a whistle with Stankoven pressuring. And with under a minute to go in the period, we've got a stoppage in play. Andrei Svechnikov gave Carolina the lead. And then his running mate on that top line, Sebastian Aho, got in on the fun. And Fishy has made it 3-1. Now, we know the most dangerous lead in hockey has always been said to be a 2-goal lead, and that has been never more true than in this series. But we'll see what it is tonight.
Don't mind me setting up, already putting the graphic that you see on your screen right now. Don't mind me already putting second intermission at the bottom. Not thinking there would be a media timeout in the final 60 seconds, but then I forgot that this is America.
They got to get all their media timeouts in the period, JT.
Yes. I'm going to actually give something useful to this broadcast, Matthew. By saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first game in this Stanley Cup Final series where the second period has not been dominated by the Golden Knights.
You're absolutely right. Vegas had
been the other way.
Yeah, Vegas had outscored Carolina in the second period of the first 4 games 9-1. And with a minute left in this second period, it's been 2-0 Carolina. Just go ahead and give JT the early alert right when this period ends. We will go into JT Waffles, sponsored by no one yet, because there are many things happening behind the scenes of behind the scenes.
Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to put JT Waffles on this very graphic.
That would be great.
It is already on that graphic.
Just under a minute to go, second period. Carolina 3-1 lead, O-zone draw coming for them. And I'll go ahead and warn JT, I don't know how long it might be this time, because there's a lot going on. A lot.
Oh, okay. Is it broadcast related?
No.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Face off to the left of Hart. Golden Knights win a defensive zone draw. Ehlers, though, sneaks in on the forecheck to get it back. He's at the side of the goal. Got it to the front! And a backhander by Stahl was blocked. Came to the far circle where Theodore got to it and scrambled it out. Carolina to start again. Through center, a turnover to McNabb. Pushed it over the line on the right wing. Stone spins to the line, throws it high to low. Half a minute to go in the period. Near corner to the right of Bussey. Hurricanes will drag it out. Stahl forwards it towards Jarvis, taken away. McNabb slices it through center from the far red line. Drubbed into the Carolina zone to the left of Bussey. Stahl the first to it behind the net. He'll scrape it out to center. Mitch Marner gets to it with 12 to go in the period. Vegas in neutral territory and now turned over and shot in deep to the Vegas zone where Hannafin will get to it, and that is the end of the second period. And it is a 3-1 Carolina lead going to the money period of game number 5. Will a double-digit lead hold this time around? It has not at any point in this series. And Vegas, of course, they've fought back just as much as Carolina has in this series. 2 periods down in a 2-2 series, and we'll go to the third. The Hurricanes with 3 unanswered goals lead 3-1. I'll send you to JT.
with a JT Waffles graphic. Look at that. Oh, it is absolutely beautiful. Hello, welcome to JT Waffles. I don't know what I'm going to waffle about, but that's what I'm here to do on the channel now. Well, it should be on the channel now. Is the World Cup game. At the channel Korea and Czechia about to get underway. If you do want to stay on this broadcast, the live score update will happen at the bottom, and even I have to sort some stuff out behind the scenes, so here we go. We love to see it. While I do this, that's it. There, edit, paste that. Look at that. It is absolutely beautiful. No one will know what I just did unless you're having a look at the YouTube live page of our YouTube channel. Just gotta copy something else over as well. In the joys of behind the scenes. There we go. Right, let's actually get through. Okay, so time for JT to play around with his graphics. Coming up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, Canada versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now on the channel is Korea and Czechia. Don't have a graphic for that though. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, Mali's at the Wolves for the first game of the AHL over there in the Calder Cup. Then Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Knicks are at Spurs for their next NBA Finals game. That is game 5 of their series. And then this series. The next game is Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we go back to Vegas for game 6. Carolina travel to the Golden Knights for game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Meanwhile, back to here in game 5 of the series. If you're just joining us at the second intermission, the Hurricanes lead the Golden Knights 3-1 going into the final period. Also, don't have a graphic for it, but also upcoming is the NASCAR Great American Getaway 400, the NASCAR Cup Series from Pocono. That is 2:30 p.m. Sunday. That's 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. As we continue the JT Waffles segment. with stuff that I don't even know what's going on behind the scenes. And I'm just gonna continue to waffle like nothing is happening. But everything is happening. We didn't even get the arena clock like we did at the end of the first intermission, so I don't even know how much time is left, because they either didn't show the arena clock or I missed the arena clock, so better just get it ready for the third period anyway, while we're here circling around the Lenovo Centre. Thanks to Google Earth, we are flying. Definitely doing that. Okay, is it time? Is it time for me to? Yes, it is. It is time for me to change a graphic on the baseline, because the World Cup match is underway between Korea and Czechia. So when we next go to Matthew's screen, you'll see at the bottom that it doesn't say, well, it no longer says Thursday, June 11th, 10 PM Eastern. It will in fact say 0-0 first half until one of them scores, and of course the score will change and there'll be a score notification and everything. So fun stuff. Matthew really did mean he doesn't know how long this JT Waffle segment is going to be, because there's a lot going on. I see that there's a lot going on. Well, I don't see that there's a lot going on. I just assume that a lot is going on. Let's have a look in the world of Banana Ball, since I'm not watching it but want to keep updated on it. Where is it? Banana Ball. So playing today was the Party Animals Coconuts and Bananas Firefighters. There was a post, but I can't see the post. There it is. It was 6-3 to the Coconuts against the Party Animals was the final score. Yikes. They are not messing around. And Jersey Shore, at the Shoretown Ballpark, are going loco tonight. The Bananas game started 1 hour later, so we'll get the final score 1 hour later. No doubt. I think that's how it works. If a game starts 1 hour later, the result will be 1 hour later. Into the 5th minute between South Korea and Czechia. That game is still 0-0. Nothing happening there. In Group A of the FIFA World Cup, of course, that started today. Mexico getting a 2-0 win over 9-man South Africa. Mexico were down to 10. South Africa were down to 9. A 3 red card first game in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Of course, Canada, Bosnia tomorrow. Same with USA, Paraguay. And then on Saturday, we have Qatar, Switzerland, among other games. Still under the second intermission here in Raleigh. The Golden Knights trying to work out how they can come back from this 2-goal deficit. But Matthew said it, and I'm going to say it. We've seen in this series how quickly a 2-goal deficit can turn around. Of course, that time where the Hurricanes got 2 goals in 2 minutes and 6. So it was either 2 minutes 6 or 2 minutes 9, and then got 3 goals in 5 minutes 20 seconds. So that is how quickly it can turn around here in Stanley Cup Final playoff hockey. We're currently getting highlights of the series so far on Premier Sports because we don't get all the intermission stuff that America gets. We just have all the highlights. What game is this? Waiting for the graphic to come up so I know what game it is. This is, and there we go. It's game 4 they're currently showing. Just showing the goal where Carolina went 4-3 up. Those highlights. It's rare that JT has actually run out of stuff to waffle about, but here we go, I guess. We are nearing the 3rd period, do not worry. Here in Raleigh, I'm trying to get access to the YouTube chat, see if anything has happened. But YouTube Studio is not liking it. There we go. I actually have access now, and I'm not surprised that the viewers dipped as soon as JT started waffling. That is actually incredible. That is truly, truly remarkable. So it was tied 3-3 in the 9th between the Loco Beach Coconuts and Party Animals. And Brett Carson hit a 3-run walk-off homer for the Loco Beach Coconuts to win it. Had runners on 1st and 2nd and got a homer and easily a 3-run walk-off. Incredible scenes.
I'm just looking at the graphic. The graphic
I hear
is
Matthew.
Hilarious. That graphic is absolutely hilarious, and I love it. Well done.
I'm assuming you saw my behind-the-scenes message about
Yes,
the sorting of stuff.
Yes, catching up on a lot of things. When I tell you that however long I was just gone for, 10 minutes or whatever, 10 million things just happened. But anyway,
It was a long JT waffle session.
Yes, it was. That's the I don't want to hang you out to dry like that ever again. Good God! But so
I had to waffle whilst fixing stuff.
So yes, so this is a behind the scenes conversation. So everything on the other stream is okay?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. Okay. we press on.
I believe.
Medic in the comments, and after the amount of things that I just had to endure, I'm going to have to call for a medic. Medic just mentioned or asked, do you do golf commentary? Okay, so here's the thing on golf. I've done golf before on our old platform. It was
He's been to golf.
I have. But on our old platform, before we came to YouTube, before we joined the 21st century, and came to YouTube.
Wait, no. So he tried to go to golf and then got stuck in Charlotte, North Carolina traffic and then just turned around because he had enough.
So on the old platform, I did a couple of Masters. Did, I think, 2 Open Championships and 1 PGA. When the PGA was at Quail Hollow, I'm wanting to say maybe 2017. Justin Thomas won it. I did a few Masters. Thank you. I did a few Masters, including the one that Tiger won in 2019. See, everyone remembers Jim's line, the return to glory. My line was...
How can an animal win golf? That... Wow.
Everyone
talented animal.
Jim's line of the return to glory. My line was Tiger roars again at Augusta.
Oh dear.
Yes. So anyway, but yes, I've done golf before. Our guy Seth Eves, who used to just have zero interest in golf, he's gotten into it the last couple of years. We could absolutely get on this channel and do golf one time, and I would love if we could do 2-3 tournaments a year. The problem with that is winter final rounds, Sundays. What else happens during golf season on Sundays?
Yes, and put it out.
And NASCAR, I cannot give up enough NASCAR. Like I'm gonna have a hard enough time giving up the Sonoma race in a few weeks.
The question is, Matthew, I see that there is hold on, I'm trying to find it. There was one where it was after a NASCAR race, and if the NASCAR race was done by then, I was going to ask if you were going to do it.
Are we talking golf?
No, soccer.
Oh, I see.
How long do you think the race-to-base race will take?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone knows how long that might take. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be done by 6, though.
I don't feel like it is, no.
But I'm going to do that so it actually says start a third period. Oh, and he faded away.
I did. Oh, I'm so sorry. Third period is underway. Face-off controlled by Carolina. They came back to it really quick on the ESPN side of things. Puck is pumped in to the Vegas zone, and it bounces into the glove of Hart, who gets a quick whistle. As you can see...
Notice how it says something different at the bottom, Matthew. Or is that what you were literally about to mention?
What does it say different at the bottom?
Look on the second box. Because the game's in progress.
Oh.
On the bottom ticker.
Yes, I gotcha. Vegas wins the defensive zone draw.
Are you okay?
No, not really. Golden Knights have cleared at length of the ice, but it goes off the boards at center and right to Bussey, so no icing. And the puck into the slot turned towards the net, and Bussey snags it as the puck was going in the air. Colton Sissons trying to get to it.
That better not have been a dog I just heard.
It was. I'm telling you, a million things. Now there's one closer. There's a million things going on, I'm telling you. Yes, anyway. Like I said, I have a hard time not doing NASCAR races. I'm going to have a hard enough time in a couple weeks not doing Sonoma.
Why are you not doing Sonoma?
It's a round of 32 World Cup game. Knockout round.
Hold on, you're prioritizing World Cup instead of Sonoma. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
So hold on, does that mean I can make you blue for the 3 p.m. kickoff one?
More than likely.
At the moment you're not blue.
More than likely, but we need to wait for the matchups, but yeah. Carolina wins a defensive zone draw. Puck is flubbed back into the Vegas zone all the way to Hart, who paddles it to Theodore. Golden Knights down by 2 as we enter the third period. Puck is deflected into the Carolina end, but icing is called now against the Golden Knights.
Here's a question that I was going to ask you earlier and forgot. I'm assuming that I can make Stanley Cup Final Game 6 blue.
Yes, you can. I'll be here.
Okay, awesome.
God willing.
I don't know whether that's good or bad.
Face off to the right of Hart. Aho wins it back to the left point. Slavin with space. His wrister blockered away by Hart. A cycle in deep by Aho. Cut off behind the net by McNabb. Banked off the far wall. Chatfield held it in to the far corner. Svechnikov spinning with it side of the goal. Tried to get it to Martinuk. Comes back out to the line. Chatfield shot. Never made it to Hart, and Vegas out to center will clear. Eichel with a chip and chase into the far corner. He's outmanned 1-on-3 below the goal line. He tries to delay for support to arrive, and it has. Played around near boards. Anderson back behind the net. Eichel flush back to the left point. Long shot by Dorofeev missed the net wide. Hurricanes clear. Bounces out to center in front of the penalty boxes. Back over the Carolina line, and the Hurricanes are in possession. Shots on goal now 18-14 Carolina. Chatfield lost it on the far half wall to Barbashev. Hurdle bounced it in deep. Miller reversed it up the far wall. Barbashev held it in again, sent it to the front, and Bussey cuts it off with a screener in front. What a stop by Bussey on a bit of a broken play. And that'll get the crowd fired up again. Barbashev took it away, a shot from the half wall right in front, maybe even redirected slightly by Howden, who was in the blue paint, and he did redirect it. And Bussey, with great reaction, stops it with the glove. Face off to Bussey's left. Vegas controls. Coughlin a right point shot. Missed the net wide on the stick side of Bussey. Off the far wall. It's sent back around this way. Carolina clears. Robinson trying to get to it. Oh, and all the way out is Hart to play it, but now he's down and out. Jankowski from the corner. Tried to sweep one to the front. It hit another body. Ricocheted below the goal line. Robinson couldn't stop it. Howden clears it out to center. Carrier cuts it off and takes it back in the Carolina zone. Boy, Hart was very indecisive whether he wanted to come for that or not. Here's Keandre Miller for Carolina. Out to center, feeds it over the line of the left wing, Jackson Blake. He'll cycle it in towards Taylor Hall, who's jousting with Braden McNabb. Hall goes down, they play on. Vegas able to chop it to the line and out, and picking up the puck with a lot of speed is Cole Smith on the left wing side. A handoff down left circle, centered one. It was behind Theodore, who could not get Goodwood to it. Puck free to the near corner to the left to Bussey. Vegas creating chances here early in this third period, down a deuce. Carolina clears it out to center. Theodore from the red line, across corner, dump into Bussey's right. Nikishin is there. He'll scrap it out to center. Puck rolls on edge into the Golden Knights zone. Hanifin steers it out to center, and from the red line, he'll blast it in. Waiting for it on the near half wall is Ehlers. Spins away from Stone. One-handed out to center. Stahl tried to slap it in deep. Instead, it got deflected by a Golden Knight. That was Anderson. Vegas has it. Forward Hanifin, blue-to-blue feed, directed into the right of Bussey. Slavin is there before Eichel. Slavin loses it as he came up the far wall. Oh, and a trip below the goal line. Ehlers got taken down by Eichel, and that'll be a penalty against Jack Eichel. Eichel and Ehlers got tangled up, and Carolina's going to another power play.
Eichel gets his stick into the hands of Ehlers. The hook is called, and Carolina will have their third power play of the hockey game. Here's that play.
Guess we're not going to get the announcement, but anyway, you get the point. So Carolina to the power play. You just heard Ray Ferraro say their third power play opportunity of the night. They scored on their last one with Svechnikov. How big would a power play goal be here? Sissons and Stahl on the face-off. Near circle to the right of Carter Hart. Oh, and Stahl kicked out. That is huge, as he will not be able to take the face-off where he has been so lethal in this series. Now Aho to go against Sissons. 20 in black, 10 in white. Aho wins it to the line. Gostisbehere left point. Back pedals to the center of the ice. Feeds the right circle. Svechnikov to the front. Stahl whacking at it, and it ended up wide of Hart to his left. Stahl behind the net follows it. Svechnikov side of the goal. Tried to turn it out in front. Aho got it to the line. Jarvis right circle. Svechnikov a pocket pass across off a stick. Gostisbehere controls. Wide of the dot on the near left circle. Shane Gostisbehere stick handles. Rink wide a toss for Aho. Aho off the right circle. On the half wall, he scans. Up high, Gostisbehere. Wanted to return to Aho, then gave it left circle. Jarvis pumpered. Svechnikov, a shot. He missed the net wide. Off the end wall, Aho tracks down the rebound. Aho wide of the right circle. To the line for Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere to the left circle. Jarvis on the dot. Look towards the net. Across Aho. A drive. Stopped by Hart. Steered away by his left pad. Gostisbehere holds the zone. Near left circle is Jarvis. Up top is Gostisbehere. Jarvis again. Top of the left circle to the goal line. He feeds it. Svechnikov. A cycle. Aho halfway through the penalty time. Aho hits the brakes outside the far right circle. Sends it up top. Gostisbehere feeds Jarvis a one-timer. And that's smothered and held by Carter Hart. Carolina held the zone for the first minute 12 of the power play. Even after Stahl was unable to take the face off, Aho won it still. And boy, Aho fishing for that puck down deep in the blue paint. Had a chance at yet another. Jarvis letting the one-timer rip, and Hart was well positioned. Good positional save by Hart. Second unit out for Rod Brindamore. Stankoven to take the face off. It's won by Howden in Vegas, and the Golden Knights will clear to kill some time. All the way to the right of Bussey. Nikishin had it take a funny bounce, and he nearly didn't get to it, but then he did. And Nikolai Ehlers handles in the Carolina zone. Nikishin is who he gave it to. The drop for Stankoven wasn't accurate. Stankoven has to chase it. Sauce through center Ehlers. Left wing over the line, a feed for Hall. Taylor Hall left circle. His shot off a stick. Hannafin from the far corner up the wall, not out. Blake reversed it in deep. Stankoven submarines for it. Towards the near corner, Ehlers tried to get there. Cleared to the line, not out. Hall, left circle, steps in. Couldn't get a shot away. It comes to Stankoven. Penalty time just about up. Oh, and the pass misses the blue line. Nikishin has to track it down. Penalty time is up. And Vegas with a big penalty kill there. Shots on goal are now suddenly 21-14 Carolina. Out to center, it's sprawled all the way back into the Vegas zone. Jankowski and Lozon after it. Behind the net, Carrier gets there. William Carrier behind the net, out in front to Martinuk. His backhander hit the skate of Stone. Ricochet to the near corner. Jankowski could not control it. Smith ahead for Eichel, who's fresh out of the box. And Eichel in his D-zone turns the corner and starts skating forward. Diagonal feed up the left wing. Kept away from Barbashev by Svechnikov. Behind the net, it's twirled behind the cage for Aho. Pop flied out to center. In the direction of Svechnikov, it bounced away from him. Stone angled it forward. Eichel over the line, a drop on the right wing, Barbashev. Down the wall for Eichel behind the net. Eichel out of the far corner. Sends it up high. Long wrister from the far point. Missed the net wide to Bussey's right. Rebound to the far half wall. Svechnikov scrambles it out to center. In front of the Vegas bench. Golden Knights are on it. Dorofeyev takes a shoulder from Svechnikov. Squirts out to Theodore in the D-zone for Vegas. Rink wide Coughlin. Snapped ahead too far for Barbashev, and icing is called. That'll get Carolina fans to their feet. Hurricane fans get to their feet a lot on great defensive play, and when the other team ices the puck, they erupt. Medic, by the way, said, I just bought golf equipment. My pocket hurts.
I just brought Jules at Daytona tickets, pre-race Jules at Daytona tickets, O'Reilly and Arca tickets, Volusia Speedway Park Friday night tickets, my pocket also hurts.
Face off to the left of Hart. Carolina controlled initially. Sneaking in to grab the puck, Barbashev. Snap diagonally out to center on the right wing side over the line. Dorofeev hits the brakes, throws one towards the net from the half wall. It ricocheted wide of Bussey, stick side. Loose puck far corner, Anderson. Put it behind the net, Barbashev. A cycle in deep, Dorofeev in the trapezoid. Eichel goes to the front. Dorofeev tried to get it to it, couldn't. Comes out to the far wall, Anderson. Backhanded in deep, Eichel. Run into by Miller. Squirts free to the far corner, taken away by Stankoven. Stankoven loads of space, runs up the right wing side over the line, outman 1-on-3, shoots wide. Stick side of Carter Hart. Jackson Blake nearly got to the rebound, but Vegas is able to clear out. Shane Gostisbehere to chase down. Carolina fans in the arena and watching on television have to think that this clock is stuck in quicksand. 12.5 to go in regulation time. Tomas Hertl from the near red line deposits it into the Carolina zone. Bounces off the near window and out. Trying to race to it was Martinuk, kept away from the puck by McNabb. Hertl tried to angle one forward. It instead went off a skate right back to him. Now he'll toss it back in his D zone to our left for McNabb. McNabb skates to the red line. He'll flip one in. Pawed down, unencumbered by Nikishin. He'll drag it out to center on a slice. Picked off by Theodore. Pushed back over the Carolina line. Reversed out and with space the other way, Carrier. Left circle, Carrier is shot, bodied off by Hart off his stick. And it ricochets out of play into the netting. 11:50 to go in regulation time. Game 5, Stanley Cup Final. Carolina, 3 unanswered goals to lead by 2. We know what 2-goal leads have been like in this series. And we know that in this series it is never, ever over until clocks hit 0 or a goal is scored in overtime.
Mention the OT word and I'm not impressed.
Glad to have you with us on the Ultimate Sports Network. Also glad to see that Jarek Rubel is back live on his channel, thank goodness, because I know he did go off earlier. His power went out.
Oh, really?
Yes. It is really happening in Chicago in that area.
Yeah, that... I'm going to be honest, that confused me because I saw his TikToks, which had Stanley Cup Final watch-alongs with Jarek Rubel on USM. And it was like, but Matthew was on USM. How does that... Oh, yeah. It confused the hell out of me, but it makes sense now. So over on USM2, as known as Jarek Rubel's personal channel, or if you don't want a definitely no good graphics, if you do not like our if you do not like our new graphics and you don't want them on your screen anymore, first of all, I'm going to press that button so they leave your screen. So you don't have to see them, or you could just go over to Jarek's channel. I was going to say something different then, but I decided not to.
Decided against it, as they might say.
Exactly.
Yes. Very good. Thank you, JT.
Yes. You're welcome.
Face off with under 12 to go in regulation time. Vegas zone, near circle to the right of Carter Hart. Jordan Stahl in the face-off circle again for Carolina. He goes up against Eichel. And Eichel wins it away from Stahl this time. Ehlers tried to track it back down in the corner. Comes to the line, left point. Slavin held it in. High to low play for Ehlers. Out in front, shot right on. Turned out by Hart. That was Stahl again on the doorstep. Vegas clears out. Jarvis inside the near red line. Just tries to pitchfork it in. Instead, it came right to a Vegas stick. Stone can't gain clean entry. Chatfield indirectly plays it off the far wall and out. Stahl gets on his horse to try to beat out icing. He cannot. And icing is called against Carolina. Meanwhile, Jalen Chatfield on the far wall is down and holding his face. Chatfield down on his stomach. Had his hand over his face. Wonder if he got hit up high. He did. Oh, Stone raised up the visor of Chatfield with the blade of his stick, and that has gone uncalled. Chatfield, however, is still down. That is a huge break for Vegas that got missed. Meanwhile, Chatfield just now starting to, oh, maybe it didn't get missed.
61 has double minor, high sticking.
Oh, man. Well, either it got missed and they talked about it because there was not an arm in the air, but Chatfield, as he gets taken back to the bench, they have called a double minor high sticking call on Stone. Clearly Chatfield with his hand on his face, and there was blood coming from his forehead, and that is what has led to the double minor. If it bleeds, it's a 4-minute penalty, and Carolina now up to middle portion's third period will be a man up for 4 minutes.
Matthew.
JT.
Earlier we were saying, why have a double kill
Yep, right.
and a double power play? Well, why have either of them when you can have a double minor?
Yes. Stahl and Sissons on the draw. Crucial moment in this game, in this series. Stahl won the face-off. It's back to the left point, Gostisbehere. Tossed it to Aho on the far wall. Bottom of the right circle, Svechnikov. Back for Aho, then up top, Gostisbehere. Loads it up to the left circle, Jarvis. Back to Aho, and his shot went off a body, ricocheted to Sissons, and he's got plenty of space to find a seam and slap it out. Shane Gostisbehere back to recover the puck, rims it around the near wall. Nikolai Ehlers on the ice, forwarded Jarvis. They spread 3 wide. Jarvis a drop for Aho, back in low. Jarvis backhands it wide. Rebound near wall. Gostisbehere seals the zone. Down the near barrier for Ehlers, wide of the dot of the left circle. Back to the line, Gostisbehere, back pedals left to right. Steps in down the slot. Now Ehlers returns for Gostisbehere, who goes skate to stick. Svechnikov far half wall to Aho. One touch back towards Svechnikov. Broken up by the stick of Howden, who guided it to the blade of Marner, and he gets it out. A quarter of the way through the 4-minute Carolina power play. Carolina can either go up by 3 by scoring on this power play, or if Vegas kills it, they would turn momentum directly into their corner. Nikishin at the red line, a drop for Hall. Over the line for Blake. Knocked back out to center by Eichel. Carolina to tag up. Jankowski a drop. Blue to blue for Nikishin. Now Nikishin's got to be circumspect about Smith, who fades back, and Nikishin feeds the right wing Blake. Over the line, Stankoven, right circle, lost it. Vegas clears. 2:25 to go on the Carolina power play. Under 10 to go in regulation time. Hurricanes will start the pilgrimage back up ice. Nikishin in the D zone. Had to get around Dowd. Rink wide of feed left wing Hall. Over the line with Vegas Golden Knights surrounding him. He drifts out to the perimeter far wall. Hall tried to turn it back to the line. Broken up by a Vegas stick. Haven't cleared it yet though. Loose far corner. Dowd forechecked into. Sissons gets to it. He'll skate out to center short-handed, and he gets spilled out as the puck comes back into the Carolina zone, and Jankowski is on it. 1:46, 1:45 left on the Carolina power play. Shane Gostisbehere breaks out to the left of his cage. The top unit out again for Rod Brindamore. Gostisbehere over the line up the middle. A drop for Aho. Back for Gostisbehere, who's far corner. Into the slot. Ehlers to the front. Svechnikov, he scores! Andrei Svechnikov again! Buries it on the power play! The Hurricanes up by 3! Andrei Svechnikov once again on a night where Carolina needed their big guns to come out shooting. Svechnikov and Aho, out of the witness protection program, have combined for 3 of Carolina's 4 goals. It's a 3-goal margin. Face off to restart play. Put into the Hurricane zone. Reverse back into the Vegas end. Hannafin got run into in the corner by Martinook. Golden Knights clear out. We know how wild this series has been, and even with 8.5 minutes to go, a 3-goal lead is not safe. Martinook drives it back into the Vegas zone. Behind the net, Noah Hannafin for the Golden Knights. Up the wall and shot right back in. Behind Hart, Hannafin's there out of the corner. Combed out to center. Dorofeev up the middle for Eichel. He was trying to break in up the middle but lost it. Carolina cleared back out in front of the Vegas bench. Stankoven loses the puck at the logo, picked up by Barbashev. Over the line of the right wing on his backhand, he'll glide to the right circle. Crunched into the boards by Keandre Miller. Puck is free below the goal line to the right of Brandon Bussey. Play to the left point. Theodore's wrister stopped by Bussey. Rebound in skates and tossed through the blue paint and out. Theodore from the left point whacked it back in behind the net. Tomas Hertl for Vegas. Peering over his right shoulder, Bussey. Hertl indirectly. Banked out to the top of the right circle. Coughlin a shot. Bussey got a piece of it. It hit the side of the goal. In to get it below the goal line and taking it back to the far corner as Vegas is nicked out of the goal line. Coughlin at the line. A shot turned out and held by Brandon Bussey. Get on the bus. It might just take you to the promised land. The Vegas captain, Mark Stone, with a double minor penalty for high sticking. If it was just 2 minutes, Vegas would have killed it. It was 4, and Carolina may have just killed Vegas's Game 5 hopes. Long way still to go. 7:27, 4-1. Oh.
Are you okay?
That is a loaded question.
All I say is that the magic is alive, Matthew.
Well, as I said, a lot of game left to be played tonight. Full game to be played in Game 6 Sunday night. But the Hurricanes and all of their fans, the Caniacs, and all of the national media too, more than just local media and Carolina people, have been asking the question, where has Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov been in these playoffs? And will they ever show up? And will they show up when Carolina needs them? In a lot of ways, you could say they were needed tonight because Carolina was getting outplayed through the first period and a half or so of this game. And then when they needed those two, that there's been this, social media scramble about, are they superstars? They've shown up tonight. Face off to the left to Bussey, long way to go. Carolina controls in the D zone. Svechnikov struggled to pick up a bouncing puck on the far wall, but was able to scramble it out. Aho got on the end of it, far red line, and we've got a whistle to stop play as Aho tried to shoot in. Shots on goal are 23-17 Carolina, as you see. Were actually outshot in the first period. In many ways, this game has gone against what the series has been. Vegas was the better team in the first. Carolina was the better in the second. Hurricanes win a neutral zone draw. Slavin a blue-to-blue direct for Svechnikov, who was able to steer it in. It's to the right of Hart out of the corner. Golden Knights look to establish a breakout. Howden flexed it forward up the near wall in the direction of Sissons. It never got to him. Now it does. Over the line right wing. Stashed to the slot. Howden shoots one right on. Bussey steers it away. And Carolina scrambles it out of danger. Brandon Bussey is denied 17 of 18. Under 7 to go in regulation time. Golden Knights through center from our left to our right. Eichel flexed over the line of the right wing. Dorofeev return for Eichel. Shot wide of the dot of the right circle. Hit the stick of Keandre Miller. Jalen Chatfield out of the far corner elevators it out. Carolina more than happy to play a game of keep away for 6.5 minutes. Stahl punts it in from the red line into the glove of Hart, who spits it out back to Theodore. Vegas starts again. Through center, it's swatted to the stick of Eichel. Over the line, right up the middle. Drifts to his right, turns back, hands it off. Theodore, left circle, backhander, stopped, rebound, scores! Dorofeev on the doorstep. Collapses on the rebound, left free by Bussey, and with 6:11 left, it's a 2-goal game again. Did JT just send a message behind the scenes too soon? Harmless backhander, you would have thought, by Theodore. Bussey may have not read it immediately, and he left a rebound, and Dorofeev at the top of the blue paint gobbles it up and scores yet another goal, his 12th of the playoffs, first of the final. 4-2 with 6:09 left. Face off to restart play, controlled by Carolina. Hurricane fans get to their feet as Carolina shoots in, and we've got an immediate whistle. Hurricane fans getting to their feet there after the goal, perhaps sensing that this game is far from over and they didn't want for the momentum to be sucked out of the building and try to pick the team back up. Because Vegas has 6 minutes to get 2 more to tie. Face-off will come at dead center here. Seen a 4-goal comeback in a game earlier in this series, so 3 goals might as well be nothing. Hertl and Jankowski on this face-off at dead center, controlled by Jankowski. Carrier feathered it in, steered back out by Vegas, back to Carrier from the near red line. He'll golf it in, ends up at the stick of Noah Hannafin, fades to the far corner, outlet for Hertl, diagonal through center Anderson. Right wing it over the line, Rasmus Anderson a drop. Nick Dowd controls to the right circle, sweeps one out in front, it's loose! And Anderson tried to steer it on goal, Bussey kept it out. To the line, Tomas Hertl steps down the left wall and around Keandre Miller, but Walker takes it from behind the net. Cleared to the line, not out. Hannafin, though, as it knifed off his stick at the line by Carrier. He'll pitch it out, and it's all the way down to Hart to negate icing. Vegas back up ice again. Dowd at the red line, got angled off into the wall. Pitched back to the Vegas blue line. Shea Theodore, D to his left, McNabb scales it in from the red line to the right of Bussey. Bussey leaves it in the trapezoid. Slavin levels it up the near wall and gets it out. Marner back on it, spins it rink wide in front of the Carolina bench, Jalen Chatfield. Carefully played it to the defensive zone for Slavin. Slavin neatly guided it out to center with enough backspin for it to go into the Vegas zone but not be icing. Final 5 to go. Mitch Marner hands it off in his D-zone. McNabb comes back this way. Theodore slapped it through center on a diagonal feed that was interrupted by an outstretched Carolina stick. Off a stick it goes out of play. That'll lead to a stoppage in action. Under 5 minutes to go. We'll watch Carter Hart and see when John Tortorella wants to pull him from the goal. Perhaps now a bit too early, but they need 2 in the next 4 and change. And JT, when it comes to this sport particularly, never say anything like you just said about the time the game is going to end.
I think the message after that is better and funnier and more important.
And that one we will not speak about on air.
Well, it did happen on air. So, anyway, we press on like a Lee now.
Like a Lee nail. Yeah. I never knew that line would become as popular as it has clearly become.
Sure. I can't wait to be out in the next 15 minutes.
JT. Oh, JT.
the JT Magic will take care of it. It's okay. And to viewers, you may ask, what JT Magic? No comment.
We will only comment and only comment on it. Maybe.
If something happens.
If it finishes the way we think it's going to finish. But only then will we do that. And we might not even after that.
The way you think or the way you hope?
Neutral zone face-off controlled by Stahl in Carolina. Slavin whacks it into the Vegas zone. It was below the goal line. It popped out for Theodore. Eichel rumbles through center right wing over the line. Eichel to the right circle, tried to play it back into the slot. It went off a Carolina stick and ricochets back into the Vegas zone. Carter Hart still in for Vegas right now. Through center off a stick. Puck rolls into the Hurricane zone to our right. Chatfield up the near wall, couldn't get it out. Stone to the line, Anderson. Feeds the left circle for a shot that missed the net wide from Noah Hannafin. Eichel on the rebound near corner. To the bottom of the right circle, Dorofeev. Button hooks around his man Blake. Up high, Anderson a stop! Oh boy, a big stop by Bussey off an Anderson long-range wrister. Puck held in by Anderson and shot put it into the far corner to the right of Bussey. Chatfield gets to it up the wall. Gets it to Taylor Hall, diagonaled out to center. Stankoven over the line. A drop for Hall, another drop in the slot, and a shot by Blake missed the net wide to the left of Carter Hart. 3:35 to go in regulation time. Stankoven gets it below the Vegas goal line. Hannafin looks to break out, then it comes back to him from Rasmus Anderson. When will Carter Hart go to the bench for an extra attacker? Snap through center by Hannafin, intercepted by Miller, who turns to the red line and immediately pop flies it in. Hannafin out of the far corner directs it on for Theodore. Theodore snaps it through center again. Hurricane stick gets in the way of it. That was Miller, and it deflects up and out of play. 3:09 to go in regulation time. A 4-2 Carolina lead. Every game so far in this series has seen a team blow a double-digit lead, or a multi-goal lead. Double-digit would be something totally incredible. Carolina blew a 2-goal lead in Game 1. Vegas did in Game 2. Vegas blew a 4-goal lead in Game 3, and then Carolina blew a 2-goal lead in Game 4. Not to say that the team with a multi-goal lead hasn't always won, but that lead has not always stood. Face off to restart play, put back into the Hurricane zone. Aho pitched it back out. Still Carter Hart is in for now for Vegas as we hit the final 3 minutes. Stone from the near red line flushes it in. Now Hart goes to the bench. Extra attacker out for Vegas as they push for 2 to tie over the next 2:45. Eichel drubbed it in, picked off by Walker. Walker safely got it out to center. Eichel back with the puck on his stick. Backpedals into his own zone. 6 skaters out for the Golden Knights. Eichel's outlet hit a skate. Ehlers between the benches. One hands it back into the Golden Knights zone to our left. Theodore left it behind the net for Eichel. Hurricane fans to their feet. Everyone in the lower bowl of the Lenovo Center on their feet. Eichel from the near red line, cross-cornered it in. It bounces high off the glass. It's up for grabs and it's out of play. Vegas players once again are pointing towards the sky, wanting a delay of game penalty, and did they get it? Did they get another one? They did. Nikolai Ehlers trying to get the puck out. It went off of his stick and out of play without touching anything else. That is the 3rd delay of game penalty to go against Carolina tonight. And now Vegas will have 6 skaters on 4 for the last 2 minutes.
This is definitely not the time for this, but a game update in the World Cup on the bottom of your screen.
That's the 2nd time that the delay of game has been on Ehlers. Timeout has been taken here.
Nope.
Not sure if it's by Brindamore or...
I've broken the scoreboard.
Baltimore or Tortorella.
There is too many things. We've got a full house right now. We've got timeout, empty net, and power play.
Trying to keep it lighthearted for all of those hearts out there that are racing. Offensive zone draw for Vegas. They trail by 2. 2:13 left. 6 skaters on 4. Far circle draw, Golden Knights control. Theodore at the line. Tossed into the right circle for Eichel, who scans. Back for Theodore, right point. Sends it towards the net through traffic. It's blocked. Carolina has a free clear. Now that they're shorthanded, it's thrown length of the ice, wide of the empty net. Won't go for icing, though, as they are shorthanded. Eichel has to start his engine quickly. Through center and over the line of the right wing. He's got space to the circle. Tried to throw it back to the slot. It comes to the far wall, Marner. Marner to the far corner, Eichel. Back for Marner straight away again. Marner holds. Marner to the side of the goal looking for a tip from Stone, none available. Loose puck far corner, Stone to Eichel. Back up high is Theodore with 90 seconds to go. Theodore long wrister blocked by Stahl. Came back to Theodore. Off to the left circle, he shoves it for Eichel. Hand off Theodore, one-timer, off the goalpost, rebound free, Hurdle whacking at it, Bussey lays out and keeps it out! What a save by Bussey! Oh my gracious, how did he do that? Tomas Hurdle swinging for his life as it went off the goalpost. Bussey trying to cover, and Hurdle whacking at it for all he's worth, and Bussey stood his ground. I don't know if Hearts can take another 80 seconds of this. Net empty for Vegas. 6 skaters out. Carolina with just 4 skaters. Near circle draw to the left to Bussey. Vegas won it. Puck amidst skates. To the right circle, Stone. Out of the corner, Stone. Up the near half wall, Dorofeev. Up top, Theodore. Dorofeev rips one off the skate of Keandre Miller. Rebound back to Dorofeev. Miller picked it off. Chipped it up the near glass and out. Final minute of Game 5. Shea Theodore starts the pilgrimage back up ice. Feeds the right wing Eichel. Over the line, clean entry, Dorofeev. Far half wall, Hurdle. Dorofeev at the line. Twig down the left wall. Eichel tried to thread one to the front. Picked off by a Carolina stick. Chipped out to center. Rushing to it, Jarvis. Dives out to try to direct it towards the empty net. Couldn't. Theodore stretched out through center, Marner. Short of the line, back to Eichel at the red line with 30 seconds to go. Jack Eichel scrapes it in. Out of the far corner, it comes up the wall. Hannafin held it in. Chatfield got a piece of it. Carolina clears. The clock winds down to the final 15. Everyone in the Lenovo Center on their feet. Penalty time is up. 5 skaters, Carolina. Hannafin drives it in from the red line, wide of Bussey to his left. Puck up the near wall, 4 seconds left. Puck in the air. Play has been stopped with less than a second to go. And now they wind it off. The game is over. And for the first time in this Stanley Cup Final, Carolina leads the series. They've gotten on the bus. And it's taken them to within 1 game of lifting Lord Stanley's Cup. This sensational series will go to a Game 6. Back in Vegas Sunday night, and the Stanley Cup will be in the building, perhaps to be awarded to the Carolina Hurricanes. They are 1 win away. ESPN's Emily Kaplan will talk to Andrei Svechnikov.
Ray is with Emily.
Andre, this morning you said this was going to be the biggest game of your career. Describe the mentality heading into this one.
Yeah, it is the biggest game was for me. The mentality was great, couldn't sleep for the nap, to be honest. Stanley Cup Final, and, thank God we won this game. We're going to roll, and we got one more in us.
You're known as a rink rat. Like, you used to stay on the ice after games. I saw you on the ice here about 3 hours before puck drop. What do those moments mean to you? What are you doing?
Yeah, I think that's how we was raised up, to be honest. Just hard work, and God will see everything.
So 2 goals for you tonight. How much pressure were you putting on yourself as a top guy in this team to produce?
Yeah, quite decent pressure, to be honest, this playoff. But, just a new day was today. And, thank God we won. And like I said, we got one more in us.
So you build up a pretty big lead here. But at the end, they have a power play. What's going through your mind as you're watching your teammates and Brandon Bussey back there?
Yeah, we're just, to be honest, praying, we need a good defense here and block some shots. And, key, what a block. Great game, and Bussey was a hell of a game tonight.
Describe what it's like watching Bussey come in and play like this.
Yeah, the crowd loves Bussey, right, guys? Love you too, guys. You guys the best.
All right, Andre, 1 win away from the Stanley Cup. You're going off to Vegas. What emotion is going to be the hardest to manage right now?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same mentality, to be honest, is this morning. Like I said, it's the biggest game, and that's going to happen, biggest game in our life and in my career personally.
So what are you expecting for it?
Yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be hard. That's the hardest trophy to win, and we just kind of got to play our game and, keep the pressure on, and hopefully we're going to keep the momentum.
All right, well, we'll see you Sunday for Game 6. Spasiba.
Andrei Svechnikov on a night where the Carolina Big Bullets needed to come out and land some shots. They did. Svechnikov twice on the power play. Aho between those two. And Carolina holds on to a multi-goal lead this time. Even though it looked late like Vegas was going to have one more charge in them. The Stanley Cup will be in the Fortress Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where the Hurricanes will look to have the dice come up one more time for them. They are 1 win away from a Stanley Cup title for the first time in 20 years. But we, of course, most certainly know how this series has gone since it started. And the championship resolve of this Vegas team returning home, facing elimination for the first time in the playoffs. It will not be an easy game for Carolina to win. What a night in Raleigh. Jordan Staal got it started for him. He cannot be stopped right now. He tied it at 1 in the first period where Vegas was the better team. Vegas perhaps even the better team through about halfway through the second. Then Svechnikov on the power play struck. And then it was only a few minutes later where Aho made it 3-1. Svechnikov on the power play made it 4-1 in the third, and then they held on for dear life. A 4-2 final score. Carolina leads the series, as you see, 3-2. They'll look to claim the cup on Sunday night. Vegas will face elimination for the first time this postseason and hope to drag it back to Raleigh for a Game 7, which would be next Wednesday. For everyone here, it's been a great day here on this channel. Awesome, awesome day with the World Cup opener, this game, and we've got another World Cup game going on the channel as we speak with Czechia and South Korea. I forgot who was playing. My mind went blank.
You should definitely go in orbit because I made a graphic especially for it.
Oh, there. Well, there. Unbelievable. So tune in now on The stream with Seth Eves, Czechia and South Korea from Guadalajara, which is 0-0 at halftime. Tomorrow here on the channel, co-host Canada start their World Cup account against Bosnia and Herzegovina from BMO Field in Toronto. Then at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night, the Calder Cup final starts, the Toronto Marlies and the Chicago Wolves at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll also have the United States and Paraguay tomorrow night. Saturday night on the channel, Game 5 of the NBA Finals. The Knicks go for their first title in over half a century as the series shifts back to San Antonio. That is Saturday night here on USN. And then, of course, Sunday night, back in Vegas, Game 6 of the Cup Final, Carolina and the Golden Knights. Got all of that to come. What a time to be a sports fan. What a time to be on USN. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. We've crossed over 1,000 and we're looking for more. We will
Which
see
means,
you. Yes?
Now that we're over 1,000, I can redirect people to other live streams. So you don't have to click any buttons. You will automatically be redirected to the World Cup stream that is currently live on the channel.
Wow. That's a thing. We can do it now. We'll do it now. Can I go off, JT? Like, is it set to go?
Sure, I guess.
Good night from Raleigh. Oh, my God.